Yes. How's everyone doing? أحد ونكسن كسر the weather. So yet again, here we are, getting our conversation on, right? Getting our conversation on. And Ahmed, you're right, man. He's like typical of Somalis to be late. Yo, sorry, bro. My my laptop was acting up a little bit. I didn't have access to the mic for whatever reason, but I resolved that, and here we are. And at the same time, just so everyone understands, I'm trying to share the link to everyone so that they can, you know what I mean, take part in the conversation that we're having here, which I deem very, very important. So as today, the theme or the conversation we're trying to have is around guilt tripping and all of that, right? So I want to kind of start it off a little bit different, and I'm gonna be trying to yo Hercules, check our Discord server, bro. The link should be there. Okay, maybe I'll just share it here, but yeah. So essentially, what I'm trying to say is we're trying to pop this off and see how we go, but we're going to be talking about guilt tripping. Okay, so I'm just please come with me on this little journey. I'm gonna put on a video. I'm gonna put on a video that is I'm gonna say it's right now. It's an Ethiopian. Okay, big ups to my Ethiopian brothers and sisters. But it's an Ethiopian group. Okay, that that are basically singing this song. So I'm going to put this song on. It's about 6 minutes, and I'm trying to really make a point. So please bear with me. So here's the song, and I'll let you guys listen to the whole thing. Okay. Now this song is is a rendition. Okay, it's a cover of an old Somali song. So let's listen to this, and it's a 6 minute clip, but just let's listen to it, and I'll come back. I have a point. I swear to you guys, I have a point to make. Did you see that? Hercules, I'm just gonna play the other video that I wanted to play because I want to make a point. That was an Ethiopian band in DC. Big up to DC, but Ethiopian band that actually made a cover of an old Somali song. So now let's go and check out let's go check out the actual song, where it comes from. So this is I'm gonna be sharing where the actual song comes from. This is our thing. It's not let me see. Let's stop this. Let's share this. All right, kan adaba imika na aniga kan ila daawada, please. Yes, people. What's up? So the weather. Nim'o, Quran is in the house. Hercules, my man. Finally, you made it on the stream. Can everybody
Yeah,
hear
hear
me? Are we loud and clear? Everybody good?
Hi, I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Perfect. Nim'o, waxaan ku odhan lahaa hadda, if you
Ah,
have the YouTube playing in the background, you might want to shut that down. But maxaan ku dhahdaa, mute it or something, because sometimes we'll have feedback at the color. Even though I'm not even hearing it, it's actually you might be fine. You might be fine. You
yeah,
know,
I don't
Hercules.
have any YouTube running, so.
Yeah, could
Perfect.
y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, Hercules. We can hear you, bro. Fir'aun, so do we. Okay, Fir'aun.
Yes, my brothers and sisters. I'm good.
Can
How are
hear
you?
you. So I want to make the point. Hayide. I want to make the point based on the two videos that I just played. I want to make the point and maybe kick off the conversation that way. The first point I wanted to make is that you have a band like Janno band and the Ethiopian band that took like traditional old Somali song, remade it into this nice, like, headbanger, you know what I mean, heavy metal type of tune, which I kind of liked, actually. I'm not gonna lie, I actually enjoyed that. But they were, I don't know if you guys listened to it, but the girl didn't know the words because she doesn't speak Somali, right? So she was just kind of trying her best. And then I show you where that song comes from, where that song comes from, and where the original song is Khadija. Now, Kalonjo is one of the upmost, like, amazing artists Somalis have ever created. So I rate her big time. So this is our traditional ways. So my question, and my contention rather, is that the reason why we can't see like a heavy metal or Somali band like Jano band that are utilizing their traditions and kind of remaking it anew is because we're never allowed to get to a point where we can explore our artistic endeavors to that level because of a lot of guilt tripping that might be coming from the family and might be related to the religion as well. So I'm gonna kick it off that way. I just wanted to, and really it was a way for me to kind of show Kalanjo's Diriya. Like that song is amazing. So I just wanted to play that too. So I'm not gonna lie, it was a bit of a selfish move on my part too. But I wanted everybody to listen to it. You know what I mean? So what do you guys think of that? What do you guys think of my contention? Orta, Sparta, Hercules, Fir'aun, no Sudawe, Nim'o, Sudawe Walal, and we got, you know what I mean? Sparta, Orta.
Yes,
I'm
yes,
new
speak.
nomad. Yeah, I'm new nomad, so I'm going to be trying to quarterback this once again, another Sunday. And yeah, go ahead, Fir'aun, Sudawe Walal.
Yes, yes, yes. Greetings to my sister Naimo or Namo and brother Hercules. I think is a brother out there.
Yes, yes. I will be showing some of his videos
start.
too.
So it's a long start that you start with that song. That's one of my favorite Somali tracks.
Right.
Time. One of them Somali songs that actually makes me like not to get depressed when I look at my people nowadays. It's like, when I look at our countries, the videos, what the king had to show you hey nowadays, it's like you get depression how people look like. So it's a gift to watch these type of videos and then just have that little rewind back and. Anyway,
that is absolutely
to you
true.
all, man. Greetings to you all.
Greetings to you, Fir'aun. So do Hercules or Nim'o. So do Nim'o.
Hey, one salamaya, Nim'a. My name, Nim'a Ahmed. وفي هاي. Everything's good. For no reason, actually, I enjoyed this song and I don't know anything about the words, but thanks to you, man. Garab kena kawan, beradid. Ayan, si wadeni.
صح.
Probably you guys can control your own selves.
Walal, wasn't she not beautiful, Kalanjo? Like she's a hippie, man. She was like my hippie. You know, like the way she was dancing, the way she was moving, the way that's like the essence of our Somali Numo. You know what I mean? And yeah, like she's a beautiful woman. Ayaw dida Kalanja balay haday.
Dee huna xilliga jaahiliyada waaye ma ogtahay waxaa waaye diintii meel uga dhaceen gabdhahaas marka lama sii wadi karo. That's why we have to move on sidii cabdi inaan u labisano waaye sama
yeah, I'm done sida carabta loo labisan hadda kadib.
That is the only way because our God speaks Arabic language. He doesn't know our language, so we have to dress like Arab language, you know.
Just in case anybody doesn't understand, my sister Nim'a was being highly sarcastic. But you know, I'm just thinking maybe this is the time to actually conversate and talk about these things, right? Hercules, kusor duwa walal, kusor duwa.
ها وعرفت siduu faraxsan yihiin inuu anaka waxa ku soo kornay aabaheena raahaya music ma maqal kartaan
صح
yeah so hadda ma aragtaa they're showing the shoulders ma aragtaa you know it's just good vibes
right. It's just that hippie vibe, man. That's just that nice hippie vibe that we have. Big up to Far is in the building. What's up, Far?
What up?
How's it going? So yeah, so Hercules, you're right, bro. You're right. It just seems like it was good vibes and nothing more to it, right? I don't think anybody was jumping on the stage trying to grope her or anything, right? I think we were civilized enough to listen to the sister sing and enjoy it.
Like right now they have our women in tents, man.
That's it, man.
Tents we gastan.
You know?
There's heavy hijabs, man.
I like the walking tents. You know what I mean? That's what we are. One of the reasons, right? One of the reasons I think a lot of these people, because I don't know about you guys, but I grew up with girls that have that would put on the so-called hijab, and then when they came out of the house around the corner, they would take it off, right? We used to refer to these sisters as convertibles. That's what we used to call them, convertibles. And the thing is, this is my own people. Like you know, she'd come out of the house, take off the hijab, and we go, you know, do about our business. And they were almost doing it just not to deal with the guilt tripping that comes with not wearing it, right? So Anuguna, I was talking to actually Nim'a earlier, and I was saying, and actually Far, we had this discussion as well, how our girls, right? Our girls, suffer the guilt tripping a whole lot more than our guys, our men. So I don't know, but Far, this is a good time for you to come in. What do you think?
Oh yeah, and I think it actually exceeds because there's like this superiority complex, and not just that, but it's just like it's crazy. Because some men will just come up to you and be like, "Oh, sister," you need to wear the you would look better. It's so cute. You would look better with the hijab on, or they'd be like, "Oh, sister. I just want to advise you that you should wear the hijab and blah blah blah." And you're like, "Oh,
Right.
brother, it would be great if you get the fuck out of my business." You feel me? And shit like that.
Yeah, how about you do you? How about you do you? Right?
It's like, and then also it's like
Facts.
this audacity. It's like this audacity. Like just some random ass guy is just gonna come up to you. You don't know that guy if he's a rapist, a murderer, anything
Facts.
about that guy, but he has the audacity to just come up to you and tell you, "Oh, you should dress like this." Get out of my face, man. What are you talking about?
That's it. Hey, hold on, guys. I think we have a new guest. I've never seen this guest before, so give me 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Yes, Gorgor.
Hello, Muhammad.
How are you? There's a lot of feedback where you are, brother. I think there's a lot of feedback.
Oh,
Yeah, what's up, brother?
I'm good, bro. Thank you.
Yes, so do.
Waan walaal Khalid.
Hey, maxaad ka filaysaa adigu waxaanu ka hadlayno soo bandhignay?
Waa waxa hortan aad iyo aad bulshada manaha ugu wanaagsan in mana lala wadaago fikradaha dadka Soomaalida la mid ah ee qabaan oo kale.
Sax. Marka waa taageersan tahay marka waad kula jirtaa mise what do you think? Nala wadaagda fikradaada niyo imikaad nagu soo biirtay.
Exactly. I was following you guys for a while,
Hey.
Just came here to listen.
Yeah. May barasho wanaagsan walaalkay Gorgor. Walaalkay baan jeedaa walaalkay Gorgor barasho wanaagsan. I'm gonna maxaan ku raadayay waxaan ku weydiin walaalhay daba heede in qof kale doonay intuu ku soo yerbooday isaguna bal maxaan ku raadayay gadaal ma naga dhigaysan kartaa markaad doonaysid wax noo sheegtid ay ii sheeg waan soo gelin doonaa marka ka waran sidaas.
Dhimalan ugaas qali.
So dhima way aad baa maasantay walaalkay.
Aad iyo aad.
Way let's welcome Hello World.
Hello.
Yes.
I don't know what's good to say. I just want to.
Yeah, what do you say? Hi, well, maxaa ku raadayay until maxaa ku raadayay iska waran horta ma fiican tahay.
Alhamdulillah. Salaam.
Everything is good, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, maxaa ku raadayay maxaana la wadaagi lahayd waxyaana la wadaagday maadaama soo noo soo gashay qolkii waxna la yar wadaag maxaad ka filaysaa adigu saad ka filaysaa?
I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to listen.
You want to listen and learn, and no problem, my cousin. No problem at all. I just have other people that are trying to hop on and trying to say a piece, right? Right now, I hate to say it, but the capacity is only 6 people. So as we go forward, we'll have more people on the panel. And then when you have something to say and you want to contribute, just let me know and I'll hop you back on. No problem.
No problem. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on. I love this. I love that we are all are talking. At least I think there is some need for these conversations. I don't know if you guys have seen the other 2 streams, but I've been getting personally I've been getting a lot of great feedback, as if the people are thirsty for these kinds of conversations. I know we have spoken about this as well, and that I think it's something that people want to hear about. And like one thing I just want to make clear from the jump. Anigu markaan ka hadlayo maxaan ku rahdaaye Islamka but the way they do things and all of that, I want to make sure that everybody understands that some of my family are Muslim, right? And anigu dadkayga waan jecelahay aad iyo aad baan u jecelahay dadkayga. And so markaan waxaan ka hadlayo anigu kama hadlayo maxaan ku rahdaaye dad shakhsi ahaan dadkoo kama hadlayo. I'm talking about the actual ideology itself and what it perpetrates. So so Nim'a, I think we were talking about that as well, right?
Yes.
So I want to be able for everyone to understand that when we talk about it, we have nothing but love for our Somali people, as guided or misguided they may be, right? I have nothing but love for my people, and I just want to make sure that everybody understands that. And this is on no hating our own people thing. We don't. We love them. And oftentimes what I found, Anigo, is that the contrary is true, where this Arabic deen makes Somalis hate each other. So tasan doon itan korhimado. While we have enough things dividing us already, and we don't need another thing like this as well. So yeah, guys, please hop on. Today the topic is guilt tripping. I think I think you have some hadiths to share, right? That actually speak to the guilt tripping. Nim'a, I don't know where you're at, Walal, but I hear a bit of feedback.
I'm right here. Can you hear me, guys?
How we can hear you? Okay, that's better actually. I think that's better, right? Maybe I'm the only one, guys.
To give you a little bit of background of me, guys.
Please go ahead. Present yourself. I'll yield the floor. Go ahead, Imel.
I grew up with 6 imams. I used to wear hijab, whatever, everything, until I run away from it. So nobody can tell me I don't know anything about Islam. I read everything that is possible growing up with imams. And there is a lot of guilt tripping as a female, especially because every move we make, anaga waxa daba socda moqtaa asaas samaysiin haween baad tihiin. Ahadith badan ayaa jirto oo anaga naga reebayo, and using our own minds and what we see. Lakin nomad hadithka actually it doesn't have any specific within Islamic books, but there are people or kahalo, and mostly waxayna ku duwayaan shiicada ah.
Waa saxay.
If anyone want to hear is this hadith about xiliga iyo nabiga uu laylatul mi'rajka uu dheelmaday iyo wuxuu dhihi doonaa in dadka ugu badan ee naarta aan kusoo arkay waxa kamid ahaa haween mogtahay. Wuxuuna ka hadlayaa haweenkaaseta say ahaayeen, like a woman had been hanged by her breast, for example. What did she do, that woman? The woman who was hanging by her breast used to deny her husband his right pleasure. Why would this God hang me on my breast for saying no to husband? Does that even make sense to you?
That's a threat. That's a clear-cut threat.
And then, and the hadith says again, I saw a second woman who was eating her own flesh and fire raged below her. What did she do? We're talking about the guilt, and I studied this hadith early on when I was about 8, 9 years old.
Right.
That woman.
How scared were you at that age? Imagine that age.
Yeah. The woman hanging by her feet used to go out her house without husband's permission. I mean, like, imagine the amount of punishment you have to go through doing that small thing. That's psychologically normal to do it, you know? And the third woman was hanging by her tongue, and boiling water was being poured down by her throat. And what did she do, that woman? The woman, what did she do?
What'd she do?
Feet were tied together and covered snakes and scorpions. So basically it says that the woman who was hanging by her breast used to deny her husband his right pleasure. The woman hanging by her feet used to go out of her house without her husband's permission. The one eating her own flesh used to purify herself and show her body to man other than her husband.
Wow.
The woman whose hands and feet were tied together and covered with snakes and scorpions never took care cleaning after herself, basically, you know. The deaf, blind, and dumb woman used to bear children through adultery. The one whose body was being cut by scissors made of fire used to not observe hijab in front of muhrim man.
Right.
So what does that teach you? The guilt that you have to observe hijab, because otherwise you don't want to die and go through this, right? Yeah, and then
that is crazy.
Well, I find it funny that there's even one where it said, like, there's a woman, the woman who backbites, I can't remember exactly, but the woman who backbites is almost as if they're eating like the flesh of some of the people that they're backbiting. And they said, like, women are destined for hell. And I just laugh. I'm like, when you were reading that, I was laughing because I was like, all of these women are terrible, like the lady who's backbiting, but not the guys who are, like, I don't know, raping, pillaging, like starting wars, killing. Like, no, it's the lady who is like backbiting somebody. That's the problem. Like, what the fuck?
I mean, they do the same thing, isn't it? It's not like we're the only one who gossip about everything.
That's true. Yeah. That's true. I just want to say, hello world. It says your device is not connected. I know you're trying to hop back on. It says your device is not connected, but let's answer the way to Kahamado. How are you to Kaha? You were walaalkay soo nabad maaha.
I'm alright. Ma maqlaysaan?
Waan ku maqlaa si fiican ma ku maqlanaa. You waran.
Oh
How's
my
things,
days.
man?
Sheekadan animka maqlay scary. Yeah.
But imagine adigu waliba qof weyn baa tahay imika adigo like think of it like let's say you're 5, 6, 7 years old. You know what I mean? That you don't even have the concept.
Trauma way.
Isn't that like traumatizing? So to me, that's what I'm trying.
Weliga. You know, waxaas waxa ugu daran in like 6 years ago waxaan tagnay in areadan Israel iyo Jordan.
Jerusalem. Oh, Jordan.
ma fahantay? Marka waxaan I think Nabi Lot gabadhiisa dhagax cirka ka soo dhaca, you know. I think wax xadiis baa jira ama story baa jira Nabi Lot qoomuluudkii markii in badda lagu aasayay marka Nabi Lot baa baxsaday somehow gabadhiisina backstage bay sameeysay dhagax baa cirka uga soo dhacay oo still dhagaxu yaala marka waxa weeye waa scary stories waxaas.
وعجيب وين. I wanted to hello world. Well, it says your device is not connected, so I can't get you on. I wanted to Hercules. Do you mind? I'm gonna be playing one of the videos that I really like that you've made. Do you mind if I play it here?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so can everybody mute up and we're gonna check out what did you call this? Religion spreads like a virus, right? And I like that one, and I want to play that one. So please, everybody mute up, and I'm gonna try and share the screen. I'm happy you made it too, man.
Of course, man.
Good. It's good.
It's good.
Yeah, it's good that we're all here, man, and be able to discuss these things. So I'm gonna play this stream. So yeah, please, everybody, just mute up.
Consume the planet like a virus, stealing cultures, consuming whatever values it had. Yet, many Muslims tell me that they willingly accepted this. Are you sure about that? Look back in history. Observe. Debate. Look at Christianity, for example. Have you heard about the Crusades? Look at Muhammad and his goons. You think they were so peaceful? They savaged their way up to the top, sword and all. I have more respect for a pagan who's happy with his life than a religious person who forces me to accept their religion. Listen, I honor differences, but don't you dare tread on mine. Feel me? Like I always say, if you can't lead yourself, are you human at all? Or a sheep? Sammy Hercules. And I'm out. Father is telling us to cut our hair to appease the Hajj model of cutting hair before the pilgrimage.
This is how Somali culture used to look like, okay? This is how beautiful Somali women, this is how they used to look like. This is how my mother, my grandma used to look, and then Arab culture came and they ruined our culture. They ruined our beautiful culture. And this, you see how beautiful they are, right? It's really weird that Wahhabism has brainwashed our people, and like now, boom, everything's like.
What did he say? Everything is like boom, right? That is so true. Yo, Hercules, I rate that video that you made, man, and I would urge everyone to go and check it out. Go and check out the YouTube channel. It would be great. It would be great to see. Dalmar, so okay, Dalmar. And yeah, I want you guys to go check it out. But Hercules, what was the awakening moment for you? What made you make these videos? To go check it out. But Hercules, what was the awakening moment? Can you guys hear me? Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, Nim'a, you can hear me. Dalmar, can you hear me? Kadar ma joogtaa walaal?
ها صاحب سفيان
Hercules, 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 can you hear me?
You hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We can hear you now, bro.
All right.
We can hear you.
Yeah, man. Did you hear my question, Hercules?
No, my bad. Could you repeat that?
Yes, what I was saying, because I just showed your video. So what I wanted to know was what's made you start making those kinds of videos and explore that. Like, what was the catalyst, and how did you come to doing those videos? Well, okay. Just wanted to kind of get everybody to get to know you a little bit.
I've always questioned things,
but
I was a devout Muslim myself.
Right.
Around junior year high school, then I was like, nah, it's not for me, because like you can't think for yourself.
Right.
I was like, I started to read more. I started to be more educated. I was like, you know what? It's not for me. Well, culture again. We look at this is religion.
Yeah.
Shakhsiyat it erases all our shakhsiyat, dignity again.
That's true. I hear you, bro. I hear you. But because the thing is, when I watch your videos, Hercules, I'm not gonna lie to you, I feel the spirit of Somali Nimo. Like I feel as if like we forgot ourselves. So let's kind of remember who we are. You know what I mean? That's what I feel from. And I like how you keep your videos short and to the point, and you have a couple of things to say, and like it's boom, boom, boom. You know what I'm saying? I really appreciate that, bro, and I appreciate you coming through and talking your truth. You know what I'm saying?
And
Thank you
no doubt, man.
Yeah, man. So please help me welcome Dalmar. You were called the MVP. MVP. ولكن دلمر قاعد جعلها this guy سودو دلمر they أظن حد كفله ولكن in guilt tripping. أصلا Somali صار لقينا ذكر مايو ولكن I know that Somalis are some of the best travel agents for guilt trips. The best. You understand? So دلمر بالكسودو أظن حد كفله ولا
كل waan salaamayaa codkaygu fiican yahay filayaa sama
iminku fiican yahay ka
qaadana yes kulli waan salaamayaa wiilka hadda fiidoogu wuxuu ahaa wiilkan oo hamiya
Hercules bas Hercules bas
soo saaxib wanaagsan kulli waan salaamayaa fircoon iyo asxaabta tukaha madow iyo Hercules waxaan u maleynayaa
صح
soo dhawow saaxib ku soo dhawow
nimcana waad nagu soo birtaa
nimca ku soo dhawow adigana and arintan aad bay ugu badan tahay Somali haddaan nahay iyo dadka diimaha aad bay ugu badan tahay in macnaha lagu yiraahdo adiga yaa ku abuuray hawada yaa ku siinaya laga dhigaba mataqaanaa laga dhigo wixii oo dhan ba laga dhigo in adiga asxaan lagu sameeyanayo psychology ahaan marka la fiiriyo dad fara badan baa jira oo guilty trip isticmaala jira كرال هذا بوق باك جراوند كرال هذا مانته مرتيه الى جوجته
ما هو عادي صاحب
ها marka psychology ahaan marka la fiiriyo way ku badan tahay dad fara badan oo isticmaalaa jiro marka waxa jirta calaamado lagu gartaa jirto markuu qofka isticmaalayo calaamadahaas markii psychology ahaan aad fiiriso ana dadkeena isbarbar dhigto exactly way iskeenayaan waxa kamid ah tusaale ahaan in marka hore wax yar qofka uu kaaga bilaabayaa يا وحير بالغاق بلا ترتيب وحي ما بدمانايا با وكو سي سكونايا يا تصالح ahaan hadda dadkeena iyo naqana diimaheena marka hore waxa lagaaga bilaabayaa ilaahay un rumeeyo lagu leeyahay bas ilaahay ya man qala la ilaha illa allah ya faqad dakhala janna lagu leeyahay jannadu galaya waa wax fudud moogtahay la ilaahay baad qaadani way soconaysaa marka waa inaad haddana maxamed ku xigo waa inaad maxamedna qaadato ha socoto ilaa marka dambe jihaad naftaada lagu adduunka muxuu yahay ya warka soco
waxba ma hadinkan
wixii tartiib buu kugu bilaami ilaa marka dambe kugu ballaaranaya taasi waa
nolosha dhan baa lagu naqdinaya
igaraal noqdal marwaan ku salaamay arano inaa og tahay laakiin shiiq waxaa jiro carab ah oo dhahayo nin yuhuud ayaa jiray oo wuxuu leeyahay diinta islaamka rabaa inaan kusoo biiro laakiin qamriga ma joojin karo marka waxaa lagu leeyahay qamrigaaga iska cab laakiin diinta imow markuu yimaado kadibna waxaa la leeyahay qamriga jooji markuu diidana waxaa la leeyahay qofka islaamka ka baxo waa in la dilaa marka basically waa guilt tripkii waa iska soo gal saa doontid sameey kadibna kama bixi kartid
tartiib lagu soo jiidanaya xadiis kale jira xataa inaad maqasheen garan maayo nin baa wuxuu yidhi ani salaadan maba aboodo hal xabba bas tukan karaa hal xabba bas
iga badan
nabi maxamed wuxuu yidhi war dhib mala soo galbid xabadaada un tuko dhib malehe somaalitid hal xabba lagu soo gelinayaa shahaadada markaad qaadato bas wey kama bixi kartid markaas ya waxaa lagu leeyahay man badala diinu faqtuluu seefaa kuu tahlor taala waa inaa cabsato marka aad ku jirto meesha
وعجايب
علامة اللبات
لكن المرة لكن ما صحيح بدي لكن إن ما صحيح بقى إن حديث كاسي بسوا
هاي نبى ويمد عربة
هاي
نبي مركز شو يعني الصلاة ما أودي كر صلاة ها شنطة ما أودي هل حبة بس أنت تكون كرا تصير ما له صقل حبة هذا أنت تكو نكاس ولا أنت كلون ملو في الصق ما صحيح حديث كاس وهي الكلمات حتى
هي
مركز علامada labaad ee lagu gartaa waxay ka mid tahay gilga tripka in qofka dambiila laga dhigo u fiirso hadda dadkeena wadaadada markay muxaadareynayaan dadka bini'aadamka waxa laga dhigay dambiile inaad dambi tahay markaasaa tusaalooyin waxa lagu soo qaadanayaa ummado horaa lagu leeyahay reecaad waxa ku dhacay fiiri yaa ilaahay bay ka hor imaadeen nebigoodii bay diideen waa la baabi'iyey reer luud waxa ku dhacay saasay sameeyeen waa cabsiin caadi ah weeyaan waa inaad wax walba oo la rabo laga dhaadhacsiisto wax walba oo rabo aan laga yeelsiiyo ha cabsani weeyaan waxa kaloo kamid ah suurada fiiri suuratul casri fiiri suurada wax badan aan ku tukana umaleynaya wal casri lagu leeyahay marka horeysa horta waaba dhaarta ilaahay dhaaraaba lagu bilaabo marka horeysaba waaba xanaaqsan yahayba wal casri lagu leeyahay casarkan ku dhaartay innal insana la fi khusrin dadko dhan khasaare ku sugan yihiin
nacam
oo ilaahayow hadaad soo yaa khaldan marka macnaha khaldan mise isaga khaldan dadkii oo dhan buu khasaare ka dhigay dee farsamadiisa xumeed marka horeysaba
صح
marka fiiriso qaabka dadkeena ay u dhaqmaan qaabka diin ahaan marka la fiiriyo guilt tripku waxa weeyaan waa qodobka ugu weyn ee isku haysa weeyaan waa gluuga isku haya xabag miyaa la yiraahdaa Soomaaliga gluuga
xabag baa la dhahaa
ya waa xabagta dadka isku haysa waa in dadka la khalkhal geliyo waa in dadka la cabsiyo waa in dadka adiga dhan macnaha aad ku jirto box ku jirto ya manipulation waa in lagu sameeyo
maanta saa la-aanteed miyaanay diintu soconin sidaa la-aanteed
uma maleynayo aniga inay socon karto maxaa yeelay diintu waxay ka faa'iidaysataa psychology-geena bini aadamku waxyaalo waxaa jirta uu ka cabsadaa jiro misaale ahaan hadda ma ogin markaad dhimato oo kale dadku cabsida dhimashada ma jecla diintu waa ka faa'iidaysatay dhimashada lagaaga sheekeynaaba wixii dhacay waxaana dhacaayo saana dhaceyso haddaa warkayga diido saana dhaceysa lagu leeyahay marka guilt tripkan waa shabaqa ugu weyn ay isticmaalaan weeyaan shabaqaasi hadduusan jirin ma soconayso baashu diintu ma soconayso maxaa yeelay shabaqaas intaa ku jirto waa laga faa'iideysanayaa qaar dhalinyaro ah oo waxbarasho heli lahaa guursan lahaa caruur dhali lahaa mustaqbal yeelan lahaa baa laga baabi'iyey tartiib kaalay shahaadada qaadaa la yidhi yaa khamri baad cabi jirtay waxbaad samayn jirtay kaalay ilaah u noqo tartiib ilaa markii dambe bamba lagu xiray
صح
qof dhalinyaro 20 jir ah bamba lagu xirayaa bum waa ku daa'ay marka waa manipulation maskaxdaada macnaha la cabsi khalkhal gelinaya hurdada lagu diidaya
su-aasha waxaa waayaba horta with the brain wanted to believe supernatural without the early brainwashing qofka haddii isagoo yar aanan la keenin meel oo wax lagu cabirin because I remember as a one who grew up in a family full of imams I remember everything la ii sheego ama banaanka aan aado ama aan ka imaado it was based on guilt trip leeyahay haddaa meeshan aadi dadka waan ka fiicannahay family wadaadaan ka dhalanay waxaan ha sameynay it was almost like control freak all the time right and like without that would I have believed what I believed I was telling Mahalai Noman once I was doing a muhadara in a small group of Somali sisters and I was reading this ayah like لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله and I was crying because of the deep things that I was in it you know hadduu qur'aanka kusoo degi lahaa buurta waxay la ooyi lahayd cabsida ilaahay daraaddeed mogtahay so anigoo bila aadan ah seebaan u ooyi weynayaa haddiiba buurtiba ay ooyi lahayd you know
هذا وقل تريب عادي زي ما ركتد وحلوها بور بابا اوينه سيدو اوي لا ده مركز اسك اوي
of course I didn't know what I was doing I was just crying I couldn't finish the ayah you know
unbelievable
هذا لو بانت اوغو Soomaalida iyago macnihii quraankaas aqoonin wax laga wado ya iyo wax ku socdo filgaadina taa laga yaaba
wala iska qeyranaya
عتل بعد ذلك الزنيم هماز مشاء من ميم سو اخرنايو وقف ما لعينيا وعلي كدله ليهي والويلي فق الا انت وا هورا لوو عبسيه سما
صح
حال ويري بور بابا اوينيسه ما كوغو دعا لو يري
absolutely
waxaanu maleynayaa okay hello world finally you made it Iwaran yes brother yes hello world
hello sorry I didn't have my mic on sorry
no problem
difficulties
yeah because it said device not connected so what is I believe that you said that you had a few questions that you wanted to
the thing is I fully respect what you guys are doing but I was sent here because a friend of mine has left Islam and he's Somali and how can I just walibi aniga ii tahay because
wuxuu uga tagay wuxuu nacam sababtu uga tagay baa wax waalan kula adiga
aniga walibi ii tahay
okay haye
so because it was one of a kind for me I've never seen it but when I'm listening to you guys and I think before the show even commenced I was watching or listening to the previous podcast you guys did last week
right
it just kind of gave me an idea of where you guys were coming from and I just wanted to hear more of that because obviously you can't just label someone as or what they're doing as wali until you actually look into it.
Well, that's a very good point, and you have to have the maturity to do that. So
exactly.
I applaud you for having that maturity. Yeah.
And I'm not one of the typical Somalis that you would come across whereby you could tell me you are non-Somali. Sorry, you could tell me that you are Gala, and I won't start foaming from the mouth or
that's good to hear.
You know, or start cussing you and saying everything under the sun. I'm not that type of person. The way I see the world as a Muslim is everyone at the end of the day is going to be judged on what they did, not what others did. So if you're doing what you're doing, as long as it has no effect on me personally, that's no problem to me whatsoever. Even if it does, that's something that me and you can discuss. It's not something that we have to cuss each other. We can do it, like we're doing now, having a discussion. So I just kind of
have a civil conversation. Absolutely,
exactly. I just wanted to kind of listen out, but at the same time, I would say it would be just a point of advice. It's not like an obligation upon you. It would be fair to have someone like myself, like a Muslim, another idea. Otherwise, it would be just a group of people in the same room just agreeing with each other.
Hey, man, and you know what? I'm trying to run away from an echo chamber. You understand what I'm saying? And I completely understand you. And I want you to actually take part in this conversation. This is actually, we started this this is the third week. This is literally our third podcast doing, okay? So, and what I do is I share this on Facebook and places like that. And it's to everyone, not just people believing the same way I do, right? It's to everyone, all Somalis, because what I'm trying to say is that our common denominator, whether you are Shi'i, Sufi, Christian, واحد دون the hallway. Our common denominator is Somali Nimo. So if I'm preaching anything, that's what I'm preaching, bro. And so I'm not gonna shy away.
For that as well. I can be, but then you can be patriotic and Muslim at the same time. You can be patriotic and religious at the same time. One doesn't negate the other. You can be both.
Right, and I appreciate that. And I appreciate that.
But with regards to this conversation, I just want to add my 2 pence as well. With regards to the guilt tripping, any society that you live in, we are governed by rules. This is how the world works. Without rules, it's mayhem. So if a rule is in place to govern the world in such a way, for example, like even the red light, I wouldn't call the red light or traffic light system oppressive. It is a system in place so that cars do not crash into each other. It is a deterrent. So I would not call that oppressive. I wouldn't call that guilt tripping. I wouldn't see it as that. We are governed by rules. The same way, if I kill someone, I go to jail. I wouldn't say, why are you guys guilt tripping me with this jail all the time? Hey, I want to be that guy. I'm a sociopath. I want to kill people. Why are you guilt tripping me with the possibility of doing jail for the rest of my life? Why are you guys? We can't live as a society, as a people like that in any regard. We forget about religion for a second. But when religion is put in there, the religion is put in there as a way of, with regards to Islam, I can only talk about Islam, it's put in there as a way of life. So when you're reminded of a particular rule within your religion, I wouldn't deem it as guilt tripping. I would see it as a stern reminder. Some people can, for whatever reason, for their own problems, for their own traumas that they've gone through in their life, they can deal with people differently. They can speak differently. They can speak more aggressively. Maybe they can be a bit more passionate than they are. And in our Somali culture, there's something that we suffer from, I believe, is a case of do as I say, not as I do. So it's, you do what I'm telling you to do, but don't watch what I'm doing. And I don't respect that at all. And I understand how that can be, especially for someone who's trying to understand or growing up, and who has a delicate mind and is still learning. For someone like that to be told, do as I say, not as I do, it's not really helpful. But that's my 2 pence. I just wanted to add.
Thank you very much.
Can I say something? I want to ask Brother Halawald a question.
Go ahead.
Are you surprised that your friend left the religion, or you want to know why he left the religion?
Both, a bit of both, to be fair.
Okay, so we both have our own and experiences that why we left religion. Another thing that you mentioned right now, I can tell you mine, why I decided to leave the religion, but also you said that our culture, the way we are told to do or see something is based on the religion, not one is mine, right?
How do you mean? Sorry.
Okay, for example, like I'm forced to wear hijab, for example, as a woman.
Okay.
What if I don't want to wear a hijab? Do you think my mom and my dad and my family members or the society around me will allow me to make that decision?
No, and I think that's not based on anything other than maybe the level of understanding that your mom and dad have. Our generation.
No. It's an ayah that says it. The ayah is a guilt trip for me. I will only do it because the ayah says it.
No, I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying, for example, my mom and dad are completely different to our generation, me. If my daughter was to say, for example, I don't want to wear the hijab, I would deal with her completely differently to how my mom and dad would have dealt with their daughters.
But that is you, Walalo. That is you, not everybody else.
No, I'm saying because the times have changed, we are completely different to every generation is going to be different to the next. This is how you can just look at history.
Yeah, let me try and referee this for a second. Let me try and referee this for a second, because I think what Nim'a is saying is that we're talking about something that has been written. It's deemed. It's actually codified, right?
Of course.
Adugu, what you're talking about is daqan, is our culture. The way like one generation after the next is going to change. So I think you guys are talking past each other, but you're agreeing. I think Nim'a is saying the reason why this guilt trip is happening because they can back it up with actual scripture. You understand what I'm saying? I don't know how they forget the scripture. The way I'm going to deal with my daughter is different than how my parents dealt with me.
No,
so do you see the difference?
I understand where she's coming from, but isn't it tied in with the same rules that we are governed by in society?
Okay, let me ask you one more question. And there is a hadith that says half of the deen Aisha in laga akhristo, for example.
I can answer that question, but have you answered what I just? Did you hear what I just said? Isn't it exactly tied in with the rules that we are governed by in society?
No, it's not, and I can tell you why.
Okay, Can you explain that part to me? Because that's and this is not a test upon you. Honestly,
no,
that's
no,
just
no.
the way I see things.
Oh,
I
this
see
is
it
completely
the same way.
Dear brother,
yeah.
dear brother, I was exactly where you're at yesterday. So you're not coming from a perspective that we don't understand. All of us here, we're 6 Somalis on this panel, right? All of us have similar upbringings, not the same, but similar, right? We're coming from the same place.
Of course.
So a lot of times, I think the still Muslim Somalis believe that we have somehow forgotten Somali, like the way we were raised and all the way the deen works in there. We have not. We were raised the same way as you were, the same way as other Somalis were. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, what you have to understand is that the difference between a red light and having akhiro is huge, bro. Okay? Because I don't have to deal with the red light. I can understand why the red light is there, and it's actually physical. And the consequences are actually of this realm.
Yeah.
So if I do something, I'm gonna feel those handcuffs on me, and I'm gonna feel jail cell. You understand what I'm saying? This is something that it's all demonstrable. You understand what I'm saying? When I tell a 5-year-old kid that she's gonna burn in hell if she doesn't put on a hijab, that is a different. And Mohammed, you're more of a professional in this field, but you can speak to that. There's a difference between those two things. So
I mean, my entire life, I didn't want to wear it. The only reason I wear it because the hadith tells me, the ayah tells me, everybody else tells me. Even if I ignore my mom and my dad and whoever is around me, I cannot ignore the Quran. And that is the final.
But then that would be, you're just chasing your desire, wouldn't that be? You've
And
just
see
said
that you guilt tripping me right now because I don't want to wear the hijab.
Honestly,
I don't believe it anymore, so it doesn't matter to me. But I'm saying that at that time, somebody like you will come and say, like, but you are following your desire. That will allow me to stop whatever I wanted to experience, right?
I'm asking you, since you're not in that religion anymore, I can ask you that question now from the outside. Now we're talking from the outside. Since you're not in that religion, it's okay for me to ask you, were you just following your desire since it was something you've always wanted to do? Since your whole life you said you wanted to not wear the hijab.
Okay, first of all, I was not somebody who was wearing just the qimar. I was wearing the long hijab. I was forced also to cover my eyes and everything else and wear gloves and everything else because my family was really super conservative. You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
But even to go from that and just wear like abaya and qamar was not easy for me as well. That was seen as bad girls.
Okay.
But then following my desire was not an option because deep within our family, I wasn't allowed it because they were using and justifying everything I do based on the Islamic teaching.
Okay, I understand you. Yes,
so if I say no to something, and then that is being confused to shaitan leading me into that straight.
Okay.
So how do I come to conclusion to say, like, I want to follow my own ways of living without anybody opening the book and telling me how I should?
Okay. No, but
there's an old joke. Let me try and recenter the energy a little bit, but there's an old joke of evangelist dude that went to the natives, and he said, "Yo, you gotta praise Jesus and whatnot, right?"
Yeah.
And he's like, "What's gonna happen if I don't? You're gonna go to hell. You're gonna die. Everything's gonna be bad." And then he goes, "What would happen if I didn't know about Jesus and all of this?" He said, "Well, God would probably send you to heaven." And then he goes, "Then why'd you tell me?" You understand?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, there is suggestive, the suggestions coming in to these from our that became part of our culture as well. You understand what I'm saying? That's a good conversation. That's a good conversation to have.
Because hello world.
Yeah,
hello world.
I think DC may come
fiiri huno hello world xadiisa wuxuu leeyahay half of diinta ha laga qaata Aisha. xadiis kale wuxuu leeyahay women waa deficiency ay ka yihiin caqliga iyo maxaa la dhahay diintaba. Adigu waayahay half of the diinta inaad gabar ka qaadatid. haddana aad dhahdid the rest of the women are deficiency in caqligooda iyo diintooda. How does that kind of come together?
No, but okay, hello world. Well, I want to ask you a question. Okay, I just want to ask you a question, and I'll let you come in far. I'll let you come in right after. Okay. How much of the deen have you studied personally? Like, how much of it do you know? Because sometimes I feel we talk to people thinking that they know as much as we've read, and oftentimes that's just not the case. If you're just a nominal Muslim, oftentimes you haven't really studied it in depth. So what I want to kind of share with you, Hello World, that is a lot of times when people apostate or leave, they do a lot of research beforehand. Usually, I said usually. I'm not saying all. I think you understand me. You seem to be a balanced dude, right? Usually, people actually look into this because no one wants to not believe and be the outcast, right? No one wants to do that.
I understand.
So we actually do the due diligence. Yeah, I'll let you answer, and then Far, you can come in after his answer. How about that?
I want to answer it honestly, but I don't know how to quantify how much knowledge I know. But I know enough to, have a conversation basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Far, go ahead, Walal. You wanted to say something.
Oh, Walal, you asked how is going back to your question about how is society and religion different? So I'll tell you how. You said it's so society we have do as I say, right?
Yeah. And if you don't, these are the consequences.
No. Actually, no. Society is actually telling you do whatever the fuck you want as long as you don't hurt anybody, basically, more or less, right? Yeah. Religion is trying to control every aspect of you.
No, it doesn't actually say that, Walala. It doesn't say that. Because can you kill anyone? I can't kill anyone.
As long as you don't hurt anybody. That's what I'm saying. As long as you don't hurt anybody.
Okay, then for example, incest is, what would you say? Is that legal or illegal? Walala. That's the thing we need to think about. There are rules that are illegal. You can't just do what you want. I cannot now just say, you know what? The government not take my money. I want to keep all my money. I don't want to be taxed. No, I don't have a choice in that matter. Give me your money. I can't even have an option for that. They take it out of my paycheck before I even get my paycheck. The government are in my pocket without my choice. And that's a rule I have to live by. And I'm okay.
I understand. I know. I hate fucking paying taxes too, okay? But I understand it's a part of like me living in a society. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
I have a part in a society. You understand?
Yeah, exactly.
But what I was saying was, for most things, how I do whatever you want, right?
Yeah.
As long as you don't hurt anybody. Religion is like the complete opposite, and I'm gonna tell you why. We have hijab hero. That's telling you how to dress. We have hishod, how to act. We have no woman can lead the hadith. Basically, you can't have any leadership positions, okay? We have to go to Hajj. Hold on. They're telling you Hajj. Hold on. They're telling you go to Hajj. Hold
on. Let her finish. Hello World. Let her finish, brother. Because
hold on. They're telling you. They're telling you go to Hajj. Go to Hajj. Basically, spend my hard-earned money in a country that's not even mine. The fuck.
Okay.
Like every aspect of your life. They control. And also, I'm gonna be honest with you. So it's not even compatible with Somali Dakan because this is Arabta came out. If you really think about it, because think about it. When you see, like, if you look online right now, I was online earlier. There was I don't know if you guys know her, but there's this girl. She's really famous TikToker, Khadro. She's really nice. She's doing her thing, partying, doing her thing, but just lovely, right? But all the time they're gonna go to her, even though she's a young girl, and they're gonna keep bothering her. Oh, blah blah blah, right? And then they're gonna go to someone like Mama Malyoon, who's older than them. What the fuck? It's not compatible at all with our Dakan. And when you really think about it, oh, gurigaaga naagta ka baxdo, nabiga the angels are going to curse you, blah blah blah, right? marka u eegtid waxa waaye carabta naaqooda waxay u eegaan sida eega guri kama bixi kartid saama sameyn kartid yaara anaka Somali baan nahnay, you feel me? ma nihni Arab, okay? Anaka the man and the woman isku imaadaan. Listen, you do this, I'm gonna do this, we're gonna come back together, circle back, and we're gonna talk about it. I'm gonna say it's a teamwork. I'm gonna say, and you're not gonna abuse me, I'm not gonna abuse you. What kind of fuckery? Why? We're a team, you feel me? And that's what I'm saying. Somali Dakan and this religion do not mix and match. They are not compatible.
Okay, let him come in. Go ahead.
I'm happy to listen, and I don't like to butt in, but when we're making a point, for example, it has to be a point that can sustain criticism. For example, if you were to say we can do what we want as long as we don't hurt anyone, that needs to be
substantiated.
Substantiated, exactly. So we can look at that and dissect here and actually see if that actually holds weight. It doesn't.
Right.
Do you see
Right. No,
what I'm saying? But I fully
absolutely.
understand
No,
where you're coming from. I fully understand where you're coming from. But from where I'm coming from, I genuinely believe, with regards to guilt tripping, when it comes to a religion, from a religious point of view, you have to then look at it the same way from a societal point of view. If I'm a nudist and I want to be a one that wants to walk around naked, why has the world made it so ugly for me to walk around naked? I just want to do that. But then the world has told me that's shameful. You can't do that. You have to cover your private parts. Why? Who's told me that this area is private? Why did you guys make this so? Why do you make it so? I want to walk around and just show my private parts. No, it's shameful. Do not do that. You will be arrested. You will be fined. You will be taken to jail for that. Why? But so what? We can do this, but only in dedicated areas of the world where there's a beach that only other like-minded people can come. Why has it got to be like that? I want to be able to do it anywhere. I want to be able to do it on my street. Why is it like that? Because this is something that you can look at, and the rule, it's got some knowledge to it. You wouldn't want your kids to see that, would you? I wouldn't want my children to see that. I'm sure you wouldn't want your young kids to see that. A man just walking around naked or a woman walking around naked. You wouldn't want that. So it works for you. That rule actually works, and you can look at that from a knowledgeable point of view and be like, you know what? I can understand why that rule is in place, and I can understand why we have to live like that.
So
how would you
answer to
it doesn't guilt trip me?
Well, I just wanted to say my perspective on this whole thing.
My whole thing.
You talk about nudists, right? You talk about nudists, right? Come on, you talk about nudists, right? My thing is, there are nudist beaches, there are nudist communities. There are nudist communities. Hadda waxaa sirabtid, or add, go ahead, be happy. Yaa ku dilaya, yaa ku dagaalaya. You feel me? Like, listen to me. Aniga, if I basically live by the golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. Okay, like Aniga, if I don't want somebody coming up to me, trying to kill me, trying to do all kinds of fuckery to me, you feel me? I'm not gonna go and do the same shit to other people. You feel me? Treat others how you want to be treated. If you want to be treated with respect.
You cannot
go ahead.
You cannot associate badness with just death. There's badness in all forms. And how do you even come to a conclusion on what is bad? How I come to the conclusion is I've got the moral compass of Islam. Without that, I can't determine what's good or bad. My brother, if we were, let's say I had 5 brothers, one of us would determine this to be good. It's all subjective for us. Everything for us. One of us could be a rapist, the other one could be this, the other one could be, I know I'm just using like wild examples, but I just want to give you guys an idea of how we have to look at all aspects of things. So if we look at the wildest and the mildest, we can try to get like an idea. But you have to look at the world in such a way whereby, are there rules in place for my benefit and the society's benefit, or is it in place just to literally guilt trip me or guilt trip others? Like, we have to look at things like from a non-emotional perspective.
Absolutely. And now the thing is, that is very, very true. But what's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? So do you think Islam as an ideology looks at things in the way you just described? Let me ask you that. If you were to take the corpus of Scripture, Islam, does it look at life the way you just described? That it's all nice and it's very rosy, because the picture you painted.
Sorry, how did I describe it? Sorry,
because you painted a picture that was rosy, right? Go ahead, Dalma. Go ahead, Dalma.
macnaha aan isbarbar dhigno, adiga waxaa tiri moraalkeyga anigii waxaa iska dhigtay qof aanan macnaha fakiri karin, wax keensan karin, caqli la imaan karin. Waxaa tiri aniga caqligeyga waa lay fikriya, islaamka iyo caqligaa tiri. Bal aan isbarbar dhigno, adiga iyo anaga aan isbarbar dhigno. Haddaati waxaa tusaale soo qaadatay incest. Waxaa tiri incest is disgusting, wax xun waaye. So sidee u aragtaa incestiga? Wax xun miyaa u aragtaa?
Me personally? For you, any question that you have for me, from a Muslim's point of view, you can just look at it from a Muslim's point of view. In Islam waxay tiraahdaa waa khalad, Islam waxay tiraahdaa waa haram. So me personally, I go with that. Waa khalad, waana haram.
Haddaan kaa tusa kawr islaamka dhexdiisii oo incest ogolaaday kawr, maxaa samaynaysaa?
Incest ogolaaday. Oo sideed ii tusi?
waan kaa tusaya xadiis, waxaan kaa tusayaa nebiga laga wariyay oo oranaya aadam caruurtiisii isguursaduu yiri waa incest. Laba walaalo walaad dhalatay baa la isku guuriyay oo ilmo iska dhashay. maada maqlin miyaa?
so waxaad ii sheegtay walaal
qaabiil iyo haabiil ma maqasho weligaa qaabiil iyo haabiil aadan baa dhalay laba walaala laba mataana iyo laba mataanay ahaayeen ilaahay baa amar soo dejiyo wuxuu yiri isfuula isku taga isfuula la yiri insas Soomaha marka laba walaalo isfuulaysa
ma aha
maxay tahay laba walaalo insas maxaa la yiraahdaa laba walaalo isfuulaysa Soomaha
ma aha
maxaa insas la yiraahdaa bal dictionary aan baarna bal
so you know hadda waxaad sameynaysaa hadda this is khalad this is hadda marka waxaad tahay waxaad hadda iska dhigaysaa you are now the judge and the executioner waxaad tiri this is what it is su'aal baad weydiisana waad noo jawaabtay
may su'aal baan ku weydiiyay waxaan ku iri insasiga see u aragtaa waxaad tiri waa wax fool xun waa wax fool xun oo khaldan baad tiri Soomaa okay waan ku raacay laakiin diinta islaamkan ka tusay oo insasiga banaysay aadam iyo caruurtiisa la isku baneeyay
may hadda hadda waxaad the whole thing what I'm doing right now is not for a debate but what you've done is now you've chosen waxaad tiri can you speak English sorry Somali
socod ku socota
sorry walaal
aniga waa ka bixi doonaa there's other people trying to come in so I'm just going to
no it's not about just pinpointing one thing that I said and saying you know what let me isolate this point that you've made and let's just look at that what you said look how everything I'm saying holistically like from the essence of what I'm saying is without rules there is mayhem rules la'an wa buksho is all over the place like it's going to be wa rabsho like there's going to be no
ogolahay taas waan ku raacsanahay laakiin insastigi fiiri hadda waxaad lahayd aniga islaamka insasiga uu xun yahay
hadda as far as I know the story went differently but then why would I need to bore you guys with the story
laakiin insasiga ma ogolaada islaamka is accepted Soomaha laba walaalaha la yiri isguursada Soomaha
storyga sheegaysid I know it differently like in what would
but tell us I will tell you how it is and then you tell us how different it is
no but marka what point would it prove marka
okay Adam iyo caruurtiisa fiiri waxay ahayd Adam iyo caruurtiisi laba walaala ah iyo laba walaal ah wiil iyo gabar isguursada la yiri
adaan su'aal ku weydiin Adam iyo Hawa adiga ma aaminsan tahay this is how the world started Adam iyo Hawa
maya adiga I'm talking about your point of view adiga adaa tiri diinta islaamka haysta
su'aashan ku weydiin Adam iyo Hawa ma aaminsan tahay
aniga ma aaminsan adaa aaminsan islaamka Soomaha islaamka adima aaminsan tahay
aniga waan aaminsanahay
okay aniga fiiri moralitygaygu ya waa consistency aniga waxaan ku leeyahay insasigu wax fiican ma aha adiga laakiin meelaad ku istaagta ma jirto waa fiican yahay ma dhihi kartid waa xun yahay ma dhihi kartid
laakiin waxaan fahmi kari waayay haddaad okay aadam iyo Hawa adiga ma aaminsan tahay I just need to
aniga ma aaminsani adaa aaminsan laakiin adiga adaan ku tusayay isku horimaad contradiction ka tusay meesha
mayda marka haddaad ba aaminsanayn maxaa ma ka sheekeynaa
no but does the point he's making still valid though
the point he's making isn't valid because the point he's making is the story that the way he understands the story isn't how the story is
okay can you tell us how the story is then can you tell us how the story
for argument's sake now let's say for argument's sake a man we all here understand we all came to this earth and began from one man and a woman if for argument's sake we're all on that one stage then we can move on then I can explain how did from those two the whole world start at one point
okay can you explain it then
exactly so at one point the twins of both twins each one see now the thing is why I don't want to explain the story is because I don't want to misquote it but as far as I know it but I know it loosely so I don't want to say it completely without saying it for 100% I can go and check it I can get it.
Maybe hello world because the way we're defining
no, there's an explanation for why that had happened and it's not considered incest.
Well, I think what you should say and here's what my contention is because Dalmar Ruhu described Gereye it's incest. Like when he describes a brother and a sister sleep that's incest okay instead of saying that you don't want to misquote it you should say I have to quote it in a way where you have the only believers can understand. So
I would need to
because you can't explain it just regularly because it was a brother and a sister.
I would love to have explained it to you regularly. I literally do not know the story properly.
But you still accept it though. Do you understand what I'm saying? But still you're able to say it's not incest. So how are you able to take a position on something you don't know?
The same way he's able to make the position on something he does not know. This
how?
is because
How did he do that? How did
the story that he's come to, the conclusion that he came to on the story isn't true, is what I'm saying. And I know that based off the looseness of what I already know. I only know it to a point where I know for sure it was an incest, but I don't know the story. And
but hello world. Okay, please. Let's take it down. Do you understand how you're coming off, Marcas? Because you're saying on the one hand, it's not the truth, but I don't have anything to give you instead.
No.
So do you understand how that works?
It was better if I had just taken myself out of the whole equation from the beginning with regards to this question, because obviously this question is a what was it called? It's a loaded question.
Well, it doesn't have to be.
Hello world, adigoo biastikaaga haysto waxaa xasuusataa dhammaanteen inaan muslimnimo family aan kasoo dhalanay aan ahaan jirnay diinta aanan baranay hanoola hadlin sidii qof alaashan hadda inuu diinta baranayo ma fahantay we were all used to be Muslims, we studied the religion.
I didn't believe I was doing that. That's why I'm not.
Because whatever Delmer told you and what you understand, that already you are in a guilt trip because you can't say this is not the story because already Islam is stopping you to express how you want it.
Yeah. The whole point I'm trying to make is, if even that is the case, what's the point, Marka? What is the point?
But this story is the truth, walalo. Ilmahayga 9 years asking me if I can marry his sister because the kitab tells him that there was a man and a woman in this earth who started humanity, and then they switched their babies, because they had a set of twins, both of them. But and that is the real story within Islam. It says in Islamic books.
I understand that, but then you'd have to understand it from a point of view where a woman was made from the rib of a man. You have to understand. I don't believe that.
But we don't believe that either.
Exactly, and that's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, so Marka, this is based on belief.
What would it even entertain the point if I were to make that point? Like, you would have to understand it from a point of.
But the thing is, we can't use worldly words such as incest, for which we have an actual explanation, to explain things of the realm of faith. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you don't call it incest, Marka. Whether Islam permits incest or not, I don't know.
No, because you don't know. The reason why incest was even brought up was this idea of, if you're not, when the sister said, if you're not,
live as you will, as long as you're not hurting someone else.
I got it. Hurting anyone. So
I got it. But you are hurting society with incest.
The reason I please.
Or personally, sorry.
The reason I you can be biased, and that is the truth, is because all of you believe we are allowed in our and all that shit. You're not the first one who said that. There's many of you who always believes that, and I think that's why you came on it.
Put that on me. Like I've not put anything on anyone. I don't know you guys personally.
But that is the truth, though. In Islam, incest is right there. As Delmer said it, it says it. There is a hadith that talks about it. If you don't know, you can go and investigate about it. But the reason it was because of something. You were trying to cover it up.
That's not a problem, yeah? Can you then be fair, then be consistent? We're talking about consistency, right, Dalmar? Well, can you tell me a time where our Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam did that, so that we could take example from him when he did that? So why didn't he do that so we could know that? Why did it happen at the beginning of time, when time only began? And if you're following the story the same way, be consistent. So the story as it goes is, this is the beginning of time. These were the first 4 people that ever began. If you know anything about a crop, the first 4 crops are going to be the birth to every other crop. How does the first crop begin? This is how a crop would begin, how it flourishes, how it begins, how it starts.
That's a good question. If
we were going to be consistent with the idea of this is something that we are governed by, and this is a rule that is in place.
No, I think you made your point very clear.
Why would it allow?
Hello, warunta, laakiin Islaamku Nabi Muhammad kama bilaabanin. Islaamku hadaad Islaam tiraahdo wuxuu ka soo bilaabmay Nabi Aadan. So Islaamku Nabi Aadan buu ka bilaabmay wixii waxa soo dhan.
Other prophets where he did
kulli Islam bay ahaayeen hadii diinta Islaamka dhabta la fiiriyo weeyaan.
Our other prophets indulge in that behavior then, all of them, like across the board, except for
aniga waxaan ku tusayay oo kaliya adiga meel aad ku istaagtay inaysan lahayn. oo instance waa xun yahay aasan dhihi karin oo diintaada ay banaysay intaasoo kale kliyaan ku tusay hadda darabta xadiis kale waa ku tusi karaa waa ku horkeeni karaa haddaa u baahan tahay waaye ta labaad ee ka hadashay waxaan siin doonaa herkeli ta labaad ee ka hadashay ee tiri sharciyada society-ga waa lagu qasbaa sida taxiga oo kale canshuurta oo kale waxaa weeyaan waa wax laga hadli kara weeyaan ummaddu way u codayn kartaa ummaddu way ka hadli kartaa ummaddu way bedeli kartaa ayagay gacantooda ku jirtaa dowladda maanta joogta waa intaad codayso sugdee walaalo waan dhameeyo kusiinayaay dowladda maanta joogta yaa haddii dowlad kaloo mucaarad intay soo baxday tiraado taxiga waan yareynaynaa waan u codayn karaa waa la bedeli karaa wadamada adduunku isku taxi ma aha maraykanka laftirkiisa waxaa jira gobollo taxigooda yar yahay qaar badan yahay so waxaasi waa wax anaga gacanteena ku jira waaye laakiin diintu ma aha wax aad ka hadli karto iyo waxa bedeli karto iyo waxa juu ka dhihi karto haba yaraatee maaha so farqi weyn u dhaxeeyo herkale ku soco saaxib
Hercules, you wanted to say something, bro?
I was gonna say waxaa tiri haddan that you mentioned you follow the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You know, I'm telling you, you gave him so much praise, peace be upon him and all that, right? But how must we follow a pedophile that married a 9-year-old? So we must listen to his rules. Okay. Yeah. And another thing I was gonna say, you mentioned Islam brings a stern reminder, sah?
Yes.
You mentioned, but I ask you, who gave us this rules that we must live by as Somalis? Is it Arab Nimo or is it Somali Nimo? Let's keep it 1,000.
Is it what, sorry?
Is it Arab Nimo or Somali Nimo?
Kana raali how hello wall
I can answer those.
Hello wall kana raali how ya ereyga aan isticmaalnay xoogaa khalad waaye kaliya waxaan ka wadnaa oo kaliya waxaan ka wadnaa macna ilmo yaroo la guursaday ka caroon ka raali how saaxib
wallahi
yeah Hercules however those are the right terms we should also kind of be thinking of the way the sensitivities because we all know that I hear you though Hercules
intelligence my brother is very high it's going to take a lot to trigger
it seems like it too it seems like it too brother it seems like it too
yeah so I'm not triggered by that I put it down to your own lack of intelligence for your own part, for you not to understand, or lack of maturity. That's nothing on me. Like that's not a problem at all. But with regards to the Prophet ﷺ being a pedophile, that is a question that you need to then be consistent with yourself. Like the Prophet ﷺ at the time when he was there 1,400 years ago was being accused of everything under the sun, everything, but never a pedophile. Why wasn't that the case, my brother? Let's be consistent. Let's have an honest discussion.
Okay, yeah, go ahead, Hercules. You want to answer that to him?
Hercules, why didn't they bring that up to him? At least, like forget the first year of marriage.
Yeah, you're talking about the 7th, 8th century.
Why did they ridicule him even in his death 10 years after he died, 20 years? Why didn't that become like front page news? Why wasn't that the topic of
discussion? At that time, who was a warlord? Mogit?
Sorry?
He had so much power at that time. You can't say nothing to him.
No, he was being accused of being
you think his Sahaba could say anything to him?
No, he was being accused. I'm talking about at the beginning, he was being everything. Like you can accuse him of if you're a Jew now, you can cuss him, you can say anything under the sun. Why would you need to respect him? Forget him being a warlord. He's now a warlord that is allowing Jews to do what they want. So they can say whatever they want behind his back. Why wasn't that the talk of the town? You're a pedophile, you're with Aisha. Why wasn't that the talk of the town at that time?
Hello,
let's be honest, Walano. Yeah, like let's just look at that honestly and be like, you know what? Let's think about that critically. Why wasn't that the case?
Hey, are you familiar with freedom of speech? You can't monitor people's speech.
No, but he was just asking the question. Let's answer him. Yeah, let's answer him.
Yeah, let's try and look at that critically.
waxaan u fiirinaynaa dhowr qayb baan ka fiirinaa su'aashaas waxa weeyaan waqtigii iyada ahaa wixii dadkii ka soo horjeeday ee qoreen ilaa hadda lama haayo muslimiintu awood bay yeesheen waxay noqotay qofkii hadla wax yar ka sheega naag waxaa jirtay indha la'ayd oo uur lahayd nebiga gobay yar ayay wax ka sheegtay yaa ayadoo uur leh yaa ayaa la bireeyey nin baa caloosha ku dhuftay ninkeedii weliba yaa bireeyey naag kalaa jirta iyadana qirfa la yidhaahdo oo gobay bed keliya tirisay geel 4 geel inta gacmaha iyo lugaha laga kala xiray yaa la kala jaray so waxaa ogaataa waqtigaasi ma ahayn freedom of speech ma jiri jirin yaa midda kale dadku waxay qoreenna ma badbaadi jirin carabta intaasu bay ahayd carabtana way wada muslimiin hadda kulligood carab gaala maanta aad bay u yar tahay macnaha wax qoraal ah oo badbaaday haba yaraatee lama haayo hadda tan soo qaadatay tiri nabiga magician uu ahaa nabigu wuu waalnaa quraanka wuxuu noo sheegay oo kaliya weeyaan wax kale ma hayno waa inta quraanka ku jirta hada
the Romans may ku caayaan
lama dadku sida hadda isku dhex galaan iyo la isku maqlo la isku maqli jirin barigii hore dadku waxay ahaayeen aad bay u kala segregation bay kala ahaayeen dadku say isku dhex galaan midda kale waxaan ku raacinayaa guurka ilmaha barigaas caadiya iska ahaydba boqorada sameyn jiray waa wax caadi ahayd laakiin maxamed iyo dadka kale isku mid maaha
wayna loo eego sababta you need to understand if you understand history waxaad ogeyn lahayd sababta back in beriga oo kale do you think waa berigan oo kale do you think people lived up to 100 years possibly if you're lucky if you're lucky and that's you have to be someone who has money you have to be someone who's born into wealth without that you're lucky if you reach 11 12 why marka what do you think people were doing the marka do you think people marka were waiting until they're 18 years old sida markan that you have the privilege to do that hadda walaalayaal we need to look at things critically
laakiin
we can't dalmar hal mar aan soo dhex galo wiilkaana bo hal mar aan soo dhex galo and hello world ma dhageysan kartaa hello world waxay dhahaan dadka muslimiinta Aisha body weyn ayay lahayd okay McDonald time iyada may soo korin remember you just said yourself dadka waagii hore maxaa dhahaayay maysa soo gaari jirin 25 sano kadib waayahay ilmo yar oo 6 jir ah lagu mehersaday 9 jirna lagula aqal galay oo xilli gaajo soo kortay body enough a 53 years old man kula joogto xagee ku lahayd manoo sheegi kartaa
xagee
macnaha adiga waxaan sheegnay waqtigaas inay gaajo jirtay oo inuu jiray rafaad inuu jiray soo ma garanaysa gabdhaha inay shaqooyin fara badan qaban jireen so 6 years old waqtigaas joogay ilma aad u yar weeye daciif ah soo ma garanaysa taasi waa mid weeyaan ta labaad waxa weeyaan waxa aan ka hadlayno waa khayrul khalqillah weeye waa nabi tusaale dadka u ah weeyaan shalay oo keliyana ma ahaya maanta 100 sano soo socoto 100 sano soo socdo all the time waa inuu tusaale wanaagsan u ahaada weeyaan wuxuu yiri waxaan sameeyo ha la igu dayado soo ma garanaysid maanta marka ninkii intuu nin weyn maanta duu ilmo yar hadda u aado oo 6 jir ah soo ma garanaysid waa foolxumo weeyaan marka qof bin aadan oo kala duu sameyn lahaa
laakiin waxaas hadda walaalo you have to be honest walaalo ma wax hadda I think someone waxa tahay qof diinta si fiican u garanayo so what adiga noo sheegi kara this is the rule mase waxa jira criteria waxa jira rules inaagta way inay ahaato qof muxuu ahaa physically she has to be ready emotionally she has to be ready mentally she has to be ready saddexda meelood she has to be ready maaha you can't just say she can be 6 years old hadda because Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was with a 6-year-old hadda you have to be honest wallah this is where honesty has to come into it you have to be sincere you have to be a person of critical thinking and you know what we're going to put things down and
did you just say critical thinking I don't think ina ismaqashidba to be honest with you brother I have a 9 years old in my house she is not near ready at all okay
no,
and she eats McDonald's and cheese and everything
is she physically ready no if she's not physically ready then that's it
not even emotionally being a mother and married comes with responsibility walalo
exactly that's what I'm
saying be honest with it so it's absolutely wrong for a man who says he's all time to lead humanity gets married to a 9 years old
no in the west walalo waxa jira dad that are 25 years old they're not emotionally ready they're physically they are mentally they're not emotionally and mentally ready but they are physically ready
you're making just excuses
hello lakin ma ogtahay
shariicada fair that you say that you can I have not made an accusation on you I'm just telling you what
you can if you think what I said is wrong walalo and I'm not against you making any accusation I'm just telling you that a 9 years old and McDonald time is not even ready forget about gaja gabar ku nooled
I'm not here to tell you what you're doing is right or wrong I'm only telling you here's the information I have can we look at it that's my whole
brother nomad can I talk about this
if you want to ask me a question I'm more than happy to answer
no
can I show you guys something and can we look at it
absolutely hello world just give me 1 second guys let me try and recenter this because
how
midban shaky okay this conversation we're having is historical because it's the first time Somalis are coming together and actually questioning something that has been with us for a long time. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously these conversations are going to be passionate. These conversations are going to, hurtful and controversial at times, right?
Of course.
All the 5 members of this panel had and I'm sorry, there's people in the back chat and that are waiting. I'm sorry, I can only take 6 people at the same time, but but stay there so you all have your chance. So these conversations are super important. I think as much as possible we should just kind of leave the ego at arm's length. And what I want is to hear everyone's on the panel's idea and thoughts, right? Exactly. Because I rate everybody's. Fir'aun, you had something to say, Walal. Kusur Duwu, please.
Yes, brother. Yes, brother. Thank you, man. I was just waiting for a while, yeah. First of all, Walal, it's good to, as you said, it's good to have these discussions here. But I think this Muslim brother here, what was his name? Hello something. I think he's in a huge denial mode, right? Because the first question my sister Naima asked him, he didn't answer it. The first question she asked him was very simple and straightforward. She told him the women cannot have their full rights, and the religion tells us how can we take from Aisha from Hadith? He didn't answer that question. Then another sister Fa asked him a question about liberty. Can they have their own choices? He failed on that one. Then came the general, right? And Dalman already buried him with the third one. So this brother is in a huge denial. It's hard for him. Too much shadow boxing. When you come to the real ring, you're gonna get the uppercut, bro. You know what I mean?
Well, it's not good to do this making your opinions as facts.
I think Fir'aun was just voicing his opinion.
But you cannot make the opinions as facts. You can say, I think this is what's going on, but you cannot make your opinions as facts. That's a point of advice. You can't say, for example, this is what happened because I think it.
That's what happened, bro. The first sister, you didn't answer any of them 3 things.
Can you answer him now? Hello world. How about
like
this?
Naima asked you the first question, the hello world was about the Aisha. Naima, can you repeat him that question that you asked him? Like, he didn't answer the first question, bro. He didn't answer the far question, Kedi. The brother is just in denial.
Well, then be fair, Fir'aun, I asked some questions that they didn't answer. Do you remember that?
Nothing, bro. You was just in denial.
Because su'aalahaaga waxay ku salaysan yihiin beliefka waxaan already anaga aaminsaneen ayaana weydiinaysaa. Okay, su'aalaha ku weydiina waxay tahay horta Qur'aanka xaguu ka yimid abooy? Qur'aanka xaguu ka yimid? Nabi Maxamed baa wuxuu yiri Ilaah buu ka yimid. You ka maqlay wuxuu ka maqlay nabi malaa'igti Jibriil la Ilaah bay yaa witness ahaayo meesha joogay. That's why aniga maba aaminsaniba waxaan aan ku leeyahay ma fahantay. Says who ala leeyahay marka as a woman aniga I was subjugated my entire life to believe and wear something I never wanted. Why? Because a book says so. So if the ayah says it, and even if I don't like it, I'm guilt tripped because if you don't follow this, عذابك تقليسا and عذابك والإيش الرحي وحالي رهي ساس lagu yeelaa diirka laga qaadaya waa lagu abuuraya again and then you will be burned again and how do I get away from that marka?
Runti, the whole idea of guilt trip is when you know something will happen, I'm going to guilt trip you. For example, Hadda, you're not going to
Okay, stop explaining to be a guilt trip. Answer the question based on Islamic teaching.
Okay, no, I understand what you're saying, but then if you do not believe in the narta, no one can guilt trip you on that.
But I did believe that at that time.
You believe it when you're young. I think that's the point she's trying to make, is that when you're young and you're indoctrinated with this information, you have no reason to doubt your father and your mother.
There is no choice. There is no choice. Yeah.
No, there is. You have free will. Like you've left the religion. This is evidence of the free will that you have. You've utilized it.
I am talking to you as when I was a Muslim, Walalo.
How do you have free will
when
everything is written down?
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying you've utilized the free will that you believed you didn't have to now leave the religion. You have the free will, Walalo.
Can I ask a question? We also believe in...
You know me, the reason why now, Hadda, I've given myself to Ilahi.
Listen to Far, please, at least.
Hello world. And then Far is
this is an exchange.
Let him finish his sentence.
Yeah.
Let him finish his sentence, and then Far is going to be up to you. Go ahead, Hello world.
If now, for example, I chose my desires, I just chose to do whatever I wanted to do, and binto. no matter, as far as I know, nothing will happen. Why? Hey, khalas, shekada haga be kudamate. But if now, for example, Islam was right, then shekada made the man, I am doomed. But if I'm Muslim and I now die and nothing happens, ilahi made children, khalas,
yeah, that's called Pascal wager. Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. That's called Pascal wager.
The only thing I can possibly do is regret. But the option to regret is gone because I'm dead. I can't regret nothing when I'm dead. Do you understand?
Absolutely,
what I'm saying? So,
absolutely understand you. Far, come in.
That
Far,
is
far.
one of the reasons why I'm happy to be in the position I'm happy to be in.
Got it.
And you guys can be in the position you're in, and it's cool because if I win, I win, and if you guys win, you win. So
I think we're just discussing here. There's no winning and losing. Far, come in, please, and explain.
Oh, okay, I just wanted to say. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to piggyback off what you were saying. Oh no, okay. So this is not a, I guess a debate. It's more like a like a exchange. You understand?
It's a discussion. We're just having a discussion.
It's a discussion. It's a discussion. Yeah. And honestly, what Nomad was saying was this is a historical conversation, a historical discussion. Because let's be honest, if we were face to face, like, okay, so what basically I said to you, basically society tells you and how I kind of feel. Do whatever you want to do as long as you don't hurt anybody, like you don't physically hurt anybody, right? Yeah. I'm not Islam is better, and I told you Islam is not better because Islam is trying to tell me what to wear, what to believe, how to act, all of this stuff.
Yeah.
Hadder, if we were in front of each other, right? Aniga gaalka waxa ku leeyahay do whatever you want to do. Ma garatay? As long as qof aad dilaynin, right? Muslimka, you guys don't have to fear us, but yas qarxiyo. Like I'm just saying, like you guys have apostasy laws where qof hadu dint ka baxo inta dishid waaye. You're not even keeping the same energy. Aniga waxa ku dhahnay do whatever you want to do, boo boo. Anna waxa ku leedahay I'm going to kill you. What kind of it's not even logic.
Well, we need to really look at things, You know, rules are based on society and what society wants, and whoever's running
for the betterment of society. Yes, rules are for the betterment of society,
and for
like
the betterment
taxes.
of the man. Let's be honest. Like, if you really look at capitalism, that's what it's all based on. Someone is out here winning more than everyone else is, and if, for example, they need things to change, the rules to change, so they can benefit from that, they will. So that's, for example, when I say, back in the day, or 10 years ago, 20 years ago, we can all say honestly, in the West, homosexuality was not favored. No one was talking about it. They were being shunned. They were being killed. They were being. No one was, defending them. But 20 years, 20 years forward, what did they understand? Politicians have understood the gay vote is actually very important. We need.
But what did they understand? But that's what I'm saying. Your point is how
the gay vote is important. So now gay has now become a rule where it's okay to be gay because why? Not because it was okay the same way 20 years ago. Nah, we've understood that the gay is a very actual, is beneficial to me. So now I'm going to change the rules so it suits my benefit. This is what I mean by there is no consistency with the
okay, hold on. My only counter argument is, there has been gay people since the beginning of humanity. Okay, they're not anything new. They're not anything new. The only difference in the West, Hawaii, that they've been more acceptable is because they actually sat down. They realized these people are part of our family. And us continuously oppressing them and discriminating against them and doing all of this fuckery is actually not within our best interest. Exactly. And so we had to wait for this step, and they reform. Islam does not allow reform. It will kill you before you try to reform it. And that's what I'm saying. We don't even have the option to sit down and have these kind of discussions. And that's why
I agree with that. Of course, Islam is not a religion that can reform itself. No way. Of course, I agree with that.
Okay, but you're trying to do exactly that, though. Hello world. No, with all due respect, Walal.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Is that not exactly what you're trying to do now?
What's that? I'm not reforming Islam.
You don't see that? That's what you're doing is innovation. You don't see that.
What am I doing that's innovation?
Okay, so for example, what you had said at the beginning, if my parents raised me a certain way with Islam, I'm not necessarily going to raise my kids the same way with Islam. Isn't that in itself innovation?
No, it's not innovation. No way.
Oh, okay.
Shall I tell you why?
I don't think a new world understands anything about the teaching of Islam.
I know enough to have a discussion. I think that was
the thing is, first
new world anigoo aflagaadeynin diinta islaamka aanan waxba ka dhihin ayaa familkayga waxaan u sheegay inaanan marnaba aaminsaneyn sababaha aa u aaminsaneenna buugaagtii ku taala islaamka waana u sheegay laakiin mid walbaba madaxeega ayuu doonayaa inuu jannada ku gala hadda ma ii sheegi kartaa sababta keenaysa
okay. You know what? That's a good point. Hello world. What is your thoughts on apostasy laws? That is a good conversation to have. What is your thoughts? 21st century men.
And we appreciate your point of view.
Please,
we appreciate your point of view.
Because we might all be of the same thinking. Okay, hello world. Let me just kind of recenter this a little bit because I don't want you. Even though you are, you're doing well.
We don't want you to feel attacked.
We don't want to gang up on you.
I'll answer this honestly.
I'm sorry.
Okay,
we don't want you to feel attacked.
I was watching a debate recently between like a Christian and a Muslim, and they were talking about this very thing. And he had the answer as to what the apostasy law was. Prior to that, to be fair, I didn't know there was such a law whereby if you leave Islam, you would be killed. To me, I felt as if that was a bit, you know, and this is just me not looking at it as a Muslim. When if you were just to bring me a law whereby if you were to leave any type of organization or any type of anything, you would die, I would think that was a bit outrageous. That's me personally.
That's so perfect.
As a Muslim, then
we agree there.
It's in my law. If it's a law that's something that I have to govern by, then it's like, ooh.
Okay, so how do you reconcile that? Hello world. How do you reconcile
exactly. That? So then now I can't answer that question. Wallah, genuinely, I can't even say wallah because you guys, you don't believe in that. But genuinely,
no, but it's like Libah said, you know what I mean? I really commend you for jumping on and having conversations.
Okay, but do you believe?
Even non-Muslims now that are Somali, I'm sure they continuously say wallah like as a force of habit. But that's beside the point. Anyway, I can't genuinely answer that question because I don't remember what the rule was. I don't remember what that conversation was. So I can't genuinely answer that question.
And I appreciate you for saying so. I appreciate you for saying so.
That question.
No, I appreciate you for saying so. But now
I don't know the information.
Hello world, su'aal aan rabaa inaan weydiiyo. Hello world. Adigu ma aaminsan tahay anagan diinta islaamka ka baxnay hadda in la dilo?
Ma aaminsani.
Then you better than Islam.
You are better.
I don't think so.
Your actual
because I don't think that's the case because I believe there is a ruling for why this case is. You know, with anything, even with
everything I'm part of so they gave a sabab nuzul ayay ku soo degeen. There is a reason behind.
Before and I knew it that the rule was homosexuality was wrong. The way I knew that was because of the story of Qawm Lut. I'm sure everyone knows of that if you guys know. The story of the people of Lut, because of that.
Go ahead.
Because of that story, only because of that. But then when I was told that, did you know Khaniska wala dila? I'm like, okay, again, that's something that I have to look at and be like, what? Can you explain that to me? Marka, I then looked into it further. Then you can see the ruling on that. There has to be a witness. They have to have done it in public. There has to be 3 people. Marka, that is a case of, okay, let's look at that holistically.
Okay.
Where would you catch 2 men?
No, I understand. Hello world. I don't want to drag it on because I want to give everybody.
No, man. I agree with you. I agree with you. I agree with you. Hello world.
You're shocked by it first, and then
hello world.
Hold on, I just wanted to say really quickly. I agree with you on that. That's why I was in the same boat as you, right? I don't agree with apostasy law. I don't agree with state-sponsored, states killing people on the basis of their religious views. Okay, that's why hey, the Chinese Muslims, China is literally going there and they're killing these people based on the religious views. I cannot sit there and be a hypocrite and say I also believe in apostasy laws because there are Muslim countries who go and kill people who leave the deen. I mean, it's basically, and that's why I'm saying I agree with you.
So hold on. Hello world. Hold on. Give me 1 second, please. Give me 1 second because I really want to have a fruitful conversation, and for that to happen, everybody has to participate. You wanted to say something.
And by the way, guys, I'm not reading the comments. I'm going to read the comments.
Oh no, it's fine. And you know what? Hello world, thank you for being here.
Hello world, hello world. Horta han la kaftamaaniyo Mr. Hello world niyo
kaftanka waan jeclahay la kaftan maahay
eriyadan qoomuluud meesha ugu raaxada badan ee aan tegay wiilgay ayaa ahayd badooda waan ku dabaashay dersi ma fahantay ya marka
I love it
ragga iska daa
where was it again is it in Lebanon
between Jordan and Israel
Jordan
Israel
the Dead Sea صح
Dead Sea waxa weeye nimca taala tag baan koran lahaa
waan tegay
سؤال ما له هيسا
لكن I didn't go to the Dead Sea I went to Jordan but not the Dead Sea
wow okay anyways waxaan ku leeyahay niyo waan dhegeysanayay niyo ninka saaxiibka yiri in ragga iga wardoon ma fahantay awana left hawsha inaan ka baxan rabaa in waxaan rabay inaan ogaado adigu in ma imka sidan aad
waa nin Soomaali waliba
mis Soomaalimadu way naga wada dhaxaysaa laakiin adigu ma imka sidan aad anaga noola hadlaysid baad ula hadli lahayd mise wax tala
sida baan la hadlaa look ninkan diinta uu ka baxay but he's still my friend saaxiibnimadeena ma ahayn islaan maanan saaxiib ku noqonin
رجيدي
we grew up in the same area we share the same common interests.
Hello, bro. Can you get closer to the mic, bro?
So we share the same common interests. We grew up in the same area. We went to the same school. This is why we are friends. We're not friends based on Islam. So him leaving Islam doesn't break our friendship. And I have non-Muslim friends. Like I live in a Western society, so I'm definitely bound to be with.
Yeah, I think you cut up.
Okay.
ما مغلي أنا ما مغلسين أنا مغلي. Hello world, you cut up, bro. You cut up. Hello world. Yeah, I can't.
فرعون بقولتني.
فرعون wanaagsan weeyaan.
ها ميمي وقف مال فرن مدي سوان.
Someone who's not going to be Muslim or not going to be of the same culture as me.
Yeah. Hello world. Bro, your mic is cutting. We can't hear you, bro.
Yes. Now the conversation is, well, all right, cool. What do you think about this? What do you think about that? We just have intellectual conversations, and he gives me his 2 pence, and I give him mine, and we leave it like that. The same way. I'm not here to preach to anyone. I'm here just to understand where you're coming from.
Perfect.
For you to give me the chance for you to understand where I'm coming from.
That's perfect. Thank you very much. Hello world. And you know what? Hello world. Are you hearing us, bro? Okay. Like Apalachi said, Hello World said his morality comes from Islam, but his morality is better than Islam. As for you, Muslim, that might hit different. It might hit different. But what said right there, it hits different. But like what is said, okay, it doesn't hit at all. Okay, so what is said right there, like what I understand that it would not hit or it would hit differently for you. But like what is said right there, Hello World, morality is better than Islam, is a conclusion that one must come to once they've researched what Islam is. You understand what I'm saying? Marka, I want to just keep turning the thing. Fir'aun, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, basically I'm just listening to the brother. Marka, hadda ruux fahmi waayay ma brother qof saaxiibkiiba uu diinta questions kan weydiinayay. So I'm asking the Hello World kama, are you aware that Prophet Muhammad had a black slaves? Weligaa ma maqashay arrin caynkaas ah?
Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Hi, I'm aware of that.
Okay, go ahead.
What do you think about that, if you're aware? Could you elaborate, please?
The term slave is not the slave that you're thinking of. You're thinking of probably transatlantic slavery. It's not that slave you're thinking of. Servant or helper. Yeah, he did have.
Slave maxaa la dhahaa horta? Ereyga slave maxaa la dhahaa? Waa qof bini aadan ah.
Someone with no rights whatsoever.
Okay.
Absolutely
okay,
no
so
rights. And you labor them off and you do with them as you please and you do not pay them for their services. So with regards to a servant in Islam, they are given, you give them, they sleep in the same house you sleep in. They are clothed by you. They are fed by you. They are your responsibility. If anything happens to them, you are responsible for that. Now, that is completely different to transatlantic slavery. Can we be honest about that at least?
No, slavery horta ha u malaynin wax bilaamay transatlantic bilaamay. Slavery wax waligiis jiray weeye. Haye Hello World.
Hello World, man. Maglasa, Delmer is trying to answer your question, bro.
Slavery waa wax waligiis jiray weeyaan. Slavery-na waxaa la yiraahdaa qof bini aadan ah oo wax uusan raali ka ahayn. Macnaha xuquuqdiisii dhan la qaadanayo. Soo ma garanaysid. oo sidii xoolihii la gadayo markaan hadda xadiisti eegno ama quraanka laftirkiisa baan aan eegno waxaan arkaynaa qof bini aadan oo la haysto sidii xoolihii oo kale la kala gadanayo hadda nabi maxamed maxay ahayd qof bini aadan nin cad buu laba madow ku gatay soo ma garanaysid suuqa inta la tagaa la soo gadan jiray soo ma garanaysid macnaha xadiisyo fara badan baa jira marka xageed uga leexinaysa ereygu waa slave carabi ahaan hadii la dhahana cabdi weeyaan ereyga cabdi waa slave weeyaan haddaan hadda dictionaryga carabiga eegno ereyga cabdi way nagu caayaan hadda carabtu way nagu caayaan cabdi bay ku leeyihiin waxyo madowga oo adoonka ah
waa wax hadda you have to look at as a Muslim and you have to do your research on because if something
sidee u aragtaa marka adiga wax wanaagsan ma u aragtaa adiga
that's exactly what I'm trying to explain to you I've done my research and sida baan u fahmay for example hadda oo kale this abd ka hadlisid one of our most famous abds is Bilal marka he's congratulated he's even spoken about we congratulate him we put him up on a pedestal he is what you would call an abd that's not the same thing like you would not see someone that we would consider as an abd someone as a pillar of Islam you wouldn't do that you wouldn't do the same thing with anything you wouldn't put someone that we would consider the bottom of the shoe and then congratulate him and put him up on a pedestal you wouldn't do that
laakiin dad badan oo kala jiray Soomaha Bilal kaligiis ha eegin soo ma garanaysid Bilal wuxuu ahaa nin adoon ma aha barigii horta Bilal
that we have to look at Bilal marka Bilal of course
hadda barigii adoon ma aha horta adoon isoo ah Soomaha adoon mise sir barigii hore certificate ahaa
he was
okay waa isku raacna Soomaha waa la gadan jiray Soomaha
he was owned by markina he was owned by who was he owned by you have to understand that as well
yeah waan fahansanahay so kadib markaan eegno hadda markuu nabi maxamed dhintay oo kale waxaa jirta xadiis Bilal uu leeyahay oo Abu Bakar ku oynayo uu leeyahay haddii aad ilaahay dartiis ii soo galatayna ifasax aan iska tage macnaha hadda adiga waxaa ka dhigaysaa Bilal nin xor ah oo meeshu rab aadayay
sidaa bay ahayd walaalo oo sheekada waxay ahayd sida kale
marka adiga waxaad leedahay wax slavery ama jira Soomaaliya mise slavery sidiisa u taageersan tahay hadda haddaan ku keenay xadiis
slavery marka sheegtid arag slavery you know when you say slavery to anyone in 1990 up to 2022 2021 and ku jirno if you mention the word slavery automatically when they think of is transatlantic slavery automatically
no way
is whipped on the back and getting all of these things this is what they call slavery automatically what they think of is the worst of the worst of the idea of what and so should it be but back in the day as far as I know as far as the books have said the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't have slaves he had servants he had people who were working for him Makkah how did he acquire them he acquired them through it could be war booty it could be people that were trying to attack him and instead of having
hello world can I just say something real quick
of any means
hello world hello world I understand and I appreciate your position Walal I want you again and make the same reminder that Nim'a made earlier a lot of the things that you're saying Walal had is not something we have not heard okay so I just want you to keep that in mind as well because I guarantee you 100% had I used to be. I mean, let me say it though. Let me say it though, because I want to keep this interesting. Let me say it though. I myself had used to use the exact same words you're using when I was debating and defending Islam. So you understand what I'm saying? So what you're saying, well, I had for a lot of us, it's almost as though like we've heard this tons of times, and it's the surface. I want to basically say, although I appreciate and really honor you being here and defending your thing and standing on your own too, which I commend you for. You have to understand that everything that you're saying, a lot of the things that you're saying, we've heard before and discussed ad nauseum. You understand, brother? So I want you to keep that also in mind. You wanted us to keep in mind some things, Maha. I wanted to
keep macnaha literature-ka markaan eegno fiiri qof diinta islaamka maqlay oo iska difaacaya iyo qof deep down literature-ki u galay xadiistii akhriyay waa laba qof oo kala duwan weeyaan hadda saa u hadlayso waxay u muuqataa qof aanan literature-ki gudaha u gelin oo keliya hadallo debate ah ka maqashay oo keliya inaad ku socoto laakiin waxaan aniga kugu dhiirigelinayaa please go deep sunna.com no sunna.com kaliya gal anaga hadda shaashada waa ka tusi karaa tusaale yar baan ku siin karaa fiiri tusaale yar baan ku siin karaa maxaa la dhahaa Maryam xaaskii gabadhii nabiga uu guursaday barigii dambe maxay ahayd waxay ahayd boqor masaari ah adiga hadiye u siiyey bal u fiirso nabiga hadiye ahaan loo siiyey bafiri ma slavery ma waysan ahayn qof bin aadam inta la qaado ya qof kale hadiye ahaan loo siinaayo asagana maya muuna dhihin ka waran muuna dhihin no waxaas ceeb waay diinteeda ma ogola ma uusan dhihin wuu aqbalay gurigiisa ka shaqaynaysay gurigiisa xafsa gurigeeda joogtay ya soo ma garanaysa marka wax la inkiri karo haba yaraatee ma hadda ereyga slavery kaliya haddaan ku dhufto waxaa ku soo baxaysa in ka badan 300 200 xadiis oo taako uga hadlaayo marka waxaan dhihi lahaa walaalkay literature-ka fiiri adiga baar qof waxaa weligaa ka maqashay ha aaminin never trust adiga baaritaan samee
dalmar waxaan weydiinayaa hello world adiga slavery ma aaminsan tahay maanta
of course
yeah ma aaminsan tahay slavery adi
of course
so madama your hand possessed lagu ogolaaday maanta gabar adiga raali kugu ahaan oo ka awood badisay dadkeedii iyo maxaa la dhahay familiada ay ka soo jeeday ma qabsan lahayd slavery ahaan ma u haysan lahayd
hadda waxaad ka hadlaysaa a hypothetical
situation. Stop. It's not hypothetical. It's real. It's reality. I'm coming to it. So do you believe it? I think you know jura maxaa la dhahay slavery.
Answer the question. Don't tap dance, bro.
Slavery, of course. Of course.
So what? Okay, adiga ma aaminsan tahay inaa qof
slavery way jirtaa ha.
Adigu ma aaminsan tahay inaa qof ku haysto. I'm talking to you, not maxaa la dhahay general Muslims. Ha, adigu ma aaminsan tahay.
Oh,
adiga ma samayn lahayd. Adiga ma samayn lahayd.
If it was Berigam is hadda okay.
I'm talking to you right now.
Hadda okay, but that's where are we? What situation are we talking about?
Adigu hadda qof
you're talking to me about a hypothetical situation. Am I an
It's not hypothetical. I am asking you. I'm asking you as a question right now. Do you believe it in slavery right now?
I will answer your question. Give me the whole scope of your situation that you're giving me. Am I an Englishman fighting Americans and we take over America, and then when we take over America, we can take American women as our slaves? Is that your question?
All of it. Do you believe in slavery in general right now, today, 21st century?
I don't believe it. Of course I don't believe in slavery. No.
Again, you're better than the Quran.
Wait a minute.
This is, come on, guys. Now, this is, you know what this is?
Hello,
you know what these are? These are bite-sized traps. Like, if he says no, we're going to just now counter
No, it's not. Can I just recenter? No.
Guys, we have to be more
Hello world. No, that's a good.
We have to be better than that, at least.
Everybody else, hello world. Aniga ayaa slavery galay, and the su'aasha waxay ku socotaa. I want to show you how I was in slavery itself. You denying my right is to explain to you why Islam allowed in aniga laftirkayga slavery geliyo. So answer my question. Do you believe in slavery? Adiga laftirkaaga individually today. I'm not talking about what happened. Yes. Do you believe it? This slavery on qofla iska qaato la own gareeyo.
No, I don't believe.
Right here in America, it happens every day today to Somali women, okay? At 15 years old, I was given away by a man who is 25 years older than me. Why? Because my family believed that I am a product. I'm just like some sort of something that is not human. Then I need to be given away to another human being.
In America.
Yes, in America. Yes. Absolutely.
Why don't you call the police? The police
is not Islam. The police is not Muslim. Islam justification aligu sameeye markii la isiinayo qof.
No, like him.
So Aisha was 9, I was 15, and I'm allowed.
No, first of all, 15 had were you emotionally ready? Were you physically ready?
I was
okay,
not.
It was khalad. It was khalad. You should not have been in that marriage.
But that doesn't say
bro. Listen to what you just said. A 15-year-old is a minor. A 15-year-old is a minor. That is a child. They shouldn't even be getting married, period.
For example, no. If we were friends,
again, you are better than Islam the way you are trying to defend me.
It's nothing to do with being in Islam.
It is everything to do with Islam.
Okay, guys. Hello world, hold on. Give me a sec. Hello world, give me a sec. Hello world, give me a sec. Far, hold on, please. Give me a sec. Okay. I want to basically say, okay, well, I just want to reset a little bit, because what you have to understand in Hello World is the conversation that we're having here, that you will be put to the test to defend what it is that you say is the righteous path. So when asks you,
I'm happy to,
and that's fine, and that's fine. But I want to know everything that has to do with this example, or everything. To me, for someone that's looking in, whatever that person believes,
what point she was trying to make.
I hear you. I hear you.
You're absolutely right. There was no need for me to do that. There was no need for me to do that.
There is no need.
Because when I was trying to understand the point she was trying to make.
Fahmi. So
yeah, absolutely. When I understood the point she was trying to make, what slavery is, in the essence of slavery, absolutely is wrong.
How you dig
no matter what,
but you have to understand also, Hello World, you have to understand also, brother, that by saying that, you are already leaps and bounds beyond what you claim to be the truth of the Almighty. Do you understand the difference?
Not at all. Because no, I don't. Because you know why? You are conflating the Islamic idea of servitude and the Western idea of slavery.
Okay. So according to you, there was no slave.
No, wallahi.
Hello World, hanu duceeye yar sugan yahow.
Hello World. This is good.
Hello World.
If you look at it honestly,
Hello World. Please, Hello World.
صاحب Hello World هو waan ku duceynayaa waa dowdowdahay baan ku leeyahay ana think runta hadii la soo sheego in sheekada saaxiibka waxa weeye my neighbors ayaa saas magaraysa marka waxa I get you ma fahamtay marka waa iska caadi no shame ma fahamtay su'aalaha waa la isweydiiyo in qof kasta sida in la wada yiri qof kasta waxan uu soo maray ma fahamtay adigu hawsha way soo bilaabantaa ma fahamtay marka waan ku duceynaynaa waan ku tukanaynaa waaq baan ku salaamaya waad barwaaqaysan tahay hawsha xagga ka sii wad laakiin magaraysa sir jilcina ma fahamtay laakiin si fiican baad u socotaa
qofku waxaa la rabaa inuu daacad inaa ka ahaato qofka ma taqaanaa wax markaa baarayso weliga daacad baa laga ahaadaa wixii hore kugu jiray waa la iska saa aan saasaan sameeyaa aan hadda markaan quraanka ama xadiiska akhrinayo gaalnimadeedii wixii banaanka iska dhigaa markaas kadib aan akhriyaa maskax furan baan ku akhriyaa markaan akhrinayo waxyaalo wanaagsan baan ku arkay waxaan leeyahay wow this is good wax wanaagsan waxaan wixii xunna waxaan leeyahay warniyo arrintan ma yara wanaagsana marka adigana hello saasaa lagaa rabaa tusaale yar baan hadda ku siinayaa hadda waxaad difaacaysaa oo lahayd tusaale yar baan ku siinayaa fiiri tusaale yar baaritaanna samee hello aan ku siinayaa baaritaan yarna samee shariicada islaamku
maxaad ku gaadhaa wax fiican iyo waxa xun maxaad adiga ku gaadhaa adiga personally
ana qiimeynaya
adigu saaxiib go'aan gaar Hello World saaxiib nin baa tahay is adkee
aniga macnaha
qiimaha adigu gaadhay is it the same theme or that everyone should use? Should we all utilize the same thing you utilized in ku gaadhay what was right and what was wrong? And if we don't
rational no rational thinking qofka markuu isticmaalo rational thinking dad marka isticmaalaan ama qalab la wada isticmaalo dadku isku natiijo gaarayaan tusaalahan ku siinaya hadda sayniska fiiri tusaalahan ku siinaya sayniska hadda fiiri saynisku wuxuu leeyahay qalab la isticmaalo method la isticmaalo leeyahay ama muslim ahaw ama masiixi ahaw ama gaal ahaw isku natiijaad gaaraysaa isku natiijaad gaaraysaa soomaha anigana saasoo kale weeye yes anigana qalabkaan isticmaalayo waa qalabkaas weeyaan waxaan leeyahay waxani wax ii cunto ma yihiin wax wanaagsan mata adduunkan u eegayaa slaveryga oo kale adduunkan u eegaya wax wanaagsan baa anigu ma jeclaan lahaa ilmahayga ma jeclaan lahaa hooyada in la adoonso ma jeclaan lahaa waa maya waa wax xun xaggaan iska dhigaya marka adigana waxaa la rabaa
laakiin hadda adiga dadkaaga ka faa'iideysanayaan dadka haday dadkaaga ka faa'iideysanayaan marka
ani xataa faa'iido hadda ii tahay ma garanayso ani xataa hadday faa'iido ii tahay laakiin qof kale ay xumaanayso
waxaa leeyahay for example مثلا dadkaaga waxay ahayn dad they were always the bottom people always the bottom now they get the chance to be at the top. The only way they can remain in power is by enslaving the rest of the community. The communities that have been enslaving them for hundreds of years. would you be okay with that, Marka?
Wana
Or
wax
what
xun
had
hadde.
no, we're gonna
Wana wax xun. Wana wax
me,
xun.
what me in that situation, what may ku ahaan lahayd mise in your world view
way ahaan lahayd way tusaale harada fiiri wadanka aan deganahay Ingiriiska aan deganahay slavery dadka u horeeyay ahaan jireen sugde aan ku sheego macnaha su'aasha ay weydiisaan ku jawaabo
hello world hello world you can
macnaha
waxaad ku sheegay hadda aan sheekaysano walaal securityista
waxaad tiri mataqaanaa haddii berigaasi dadkaaga ay faa'iido ugu jiri lahayd maanta oo adiga nooshahay ma ka soo horjeesan lahayd yes waa ka soo horjeesan lahaa dadka maanta Ingiriiska jooga yaa waalidiintoodii iyo awowyaashoodii adoonsi bay samayn jireen maanta laakiin ma ogola soo ma garanaysid
ma ogola
way diidan yihiin
beriga may adiga dalmar ba beriga joogay beriga ba joogtay beriga
No, can I have put just a little bit input? Walalo, you said you're advocating how I
I just want to get his view on that.
No, I'm just going to give you
Wallahi, I'm not advocating. I just want to understand your view. How you would see it.
Hold on.
How you would see it. Because
you don't believe in this. You don't believe in this.
What was saying is, if something is necessary, you know what I understood from Dalmar? If something is necessary, one samain laha. So Makkah, in that situation that I gave him, is a situation where he has to be necessarily bad. Would he be necessarily bad for the case of good, for the good being his people prosper? Or would he no, that's bad and it's going to cause my people harm? I don't care. Because
yes,
it's bad.
Slavery, slavery, qof kaloo bini aadana, fiiri, qof kaloo bini aadana oo naftaadoo kala leh in wax la yeelo oo aad adoonsato sida xoolaha loo isticmaalo markasta fiiriya from the beginning aadam waqtigiisii ilaa hadda waa khalad mar walbaba laakiin ma garanaysid dadka bini aadamku sidooduba caqligu waa wax kora weeyaan waa wax la isdhaafsado hadda intayna waan sheekaysanaynaa caqli baan isdhaafsanaynaa soo ma garanaysid dadku markay meel degan yihiin hadda Soomaalida u fiirso Soomaalideenu gudniinka fircooniga maxay la ahayd hooyadu markay gabadheeda ay tultulayso ay jijixayso wax wanaagsan sameey bay la tahay iyada soo ma garanaysid laakiin wax xun bay sameynaysaa laakiin dadku markay isfahmaan adduunyadu ay sheekadu ay socoto dadku ismaqlaan caqligu wuu koraa soo ma garanaysid berigaas waa laga yaabaa carabtii dadka berigaas sameynaya waxaan wax wanaagsan inay la ahayd laakiin waxaasi wax wanaagsan ma ahayn soo ma garanaysid
I just want to say really quickly. I just wanted to actually add to you, like slavery is never good. All of this stuff, right?
Of course.
Hold on. And but what is the difference? What's the difference between Anaka, Arabta, Adanka, Ajanabiga Kalato? The difference with Hawaii, Anaka was good dene, Adanka was good dayan, Arabtan will wear wadan, Muka oated Libya. واحد جيرو Somali أو هالكاس عادة أو حتى لا أدون that حتى their families have to pay for them to get out of slavery. Do you think that's right? Do you think that's right? And another thing, do you think? Because we're here to save you. That we're here to bring you something. Look at another example. How Sudan or Sudan. أنك حتى لبدا Somalis and Sudanese لبدا
I understand what you're saying. You acted like I'm against that. Look, guys, what we're doing is wrong now. I'm against
that. Is that right? Is that right? Not only that, they're stealing your land.
It's not right. I'm with you. I'm with you. I'm not with you. You're arguing with me.
Hello.
Exactly. Thank you, Walal. Yeah. The thing is now, the idea of slavery that you're seeing is completely different to the Islamic view of servitude, being a servant. The Islamic idea of what a servant is what we would call in the modern day times now a maid, someone that you have to feed, clothe, and pay for the services. Back then, the same way, if you have a servant, even if you got them, look, even if this person was someone now, you can now, that you've caught, this person was trying to kill you in back in the day in war I'm talking about, when these laws were advocated, when these laws were actually actioned. if you
Okay,
this
hello,
person was trying to kill you, you have an option now.
You tell me.
Let me finish there. You have an
Okay,
option.
okay.
So I'm not
You're
going to
right.
explain the rules to you, yeah, but
No, you're right. Well,
you guys know what the Islamic view of a servant is. We know what that is. Why are you guys telling me now about what happened in Sudan? That is against what Islamic servitude is. Why are you telling me about what happened over there?
Okay, I will tell you why. If they were following the rules of
and I'll put it let me explain something to you. Yeah, I've got 1 second. I've got a cousin I paid money for personally, not on 1 occasion, 2 occasions that got caught in Libya. Wallahi, I'm not lying to you. This is not a lie. So I understand that is not in line with what Islam is. That's not Islamic.
Okay.
Had that been Islamic, my cousin would have been fed and paid for, and he wouldn't have even been in that situation, because what gave him the right to even lose his rights as a person? You're not supposed to keep
slavery.
slaves and
Slavery
serve.
is literally you're owned by another human being. You don't matter.
On top of that, let's be consistent and be honest. If we all know Dinta, Dinta advocates to release your servants, release them. It advocates for that, does it not? We have to be honest. Why would a system that wants slavery to work
Isn't it funny you keep saying we have to be honest and you're not even honest?
To free them?
Well, so if that's the case, right? Then why do I read hadith or why do I read?
What did I say that was not honest? No, tell me why I said that was dishonest, and we can look into that. I have no problem with that.
I just want to ask you. I just want to say something really quickly. Well, if that's the case, right, then you will tell me that I will not find a hadith or anything like that in the Quran or in Islam where Umar has a whole sex slave, a little girl, and she's trying to wear the hijab, right? And he throws the hijab out of her, and he says, "Do not assume the characters or the rights of free women." So here you have a little girl who's trying to put a hijab on, and here you have somebody who's enslaving her and telling her take off the hijab, and then you guys are coming to me and telling me the hijab.
What happened?
He's going through
what did the Prophet advise him after he had that?
What is wrong with this situation right now?
What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam advise him? What did the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam advise him?
Nothing.
waxay igaraal noqdo waxay igaraal noqdo walaal waxa rabaa inaan ku weydiiyo ma ogtahay horta Please dhageyso horta, okay? I'm just asking you Islamic question. Listen,
Walalo. No, Walalo. You said this. You said that. Right? I can bring you an example. Is this right? Who is in the wrong in this situation? The man enslaving this woman. On top of that, the man saying, "Oh, hijab is really important to us." On top of that, throwing a hijab off a slave girl, saying, "Don't even try to pretend like you're a free woman." Is this right? Who's in the wrong right now? That's all I want to say to you, Walalo. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. I understand that, Walalo. I understand what you're saying.
Hello, Walter. Me and her is different to the rest of you. Dhagaysaya, hello, Walter. Don't be in denial. Aniga iyo Far laba gabdhood oo Soomaaliyeed aan ahay, and we know women waxa lagu dhigo dadkeena. Ma fahantay? Su'aasha raba inaan ku weydiiyo waxay tahay ma taqaanaa the reason walaala dee hadda
Hello world, let her finish, bro. Let her finish.
Please, do you know the history behind the reason hijabka uu kusoo degay marka hore horta? Just say yes or no. Do you know why ayaday usoo degtay?
Sababta? No, I don't know the reasoning behind it, the story behind it.
Umar is the reason why ayaday usoo degtay. Because yes, si loo differentiate gareeyo who is a slave and who xorriyad haysto. Umar went to the Prophet and told them naagaha muslimiinta ah ama Arabta ah in madaxo ay korkooda dabooshaan, specifically naasaha ay dabooshaan si naagaha slaveryga loo kala iibsado. Yes, because waxa loo safa inta la geliyo gabdhaha historically is written in the Islamic scriptures that gabarba gabadhay ka qurux badan tahay saf la gelina, that is the reason loo iibsanaya, and you are okay with it in qof bila aadan suuq inta la geeyo la iibsado qofka xorriyada lehna maxaa la dhahaye madaxa ama jirka loo daboolo si loo ogaado she have freedom and that person is slavery.
Yeah, horta waxaan ku fahmay.
What about the Islamic idea of no, sorry,
Ahlul Bayt. I'm going to own a slave like waxa Ahlul Bayt. Come on, man. That guy's a slave owner.
Personally, we're not attacking you. Really, personally, we're having a discussion only. Walalo, okay? Forget about Islam and Somali and everything. Another human being.
No. Walalo, first and foremost, you don't have to remind me. Walalo, don't worry. I'm not going to take his attack. Anything that said here.
No, Nick, Ninman from Buik.
It's not personal. Whatever I'm asking you specifically.
I appreciate you, like in Isheg, and that I shouldn't take it like that. I appreciate that. But what I run laha, as far as I know, hijabka waxay an idea of modesty. Now we cannot just ignore the whole idea of modesty and the whole concept of modesty in Islam for women. We can't ignore that. We can't just say, you know what, the whole point of the hijab waxay only because Umar ibn Khattab did what he did. We can't just say that and just be like, okay, that's okay for me, because that would fit a narrative. Well, wouldn't that fit a narrative? We need to now look at that holistically. Yeah.
In Islam, waxaa jiro waxa la dhaho horta masaalix al-mursala.
No, we can.
Then you're telling me I cannot go to Islam and find Umar had if the hijab didn't come down from Umar, you're telling me I can't go in Islam and look, hold on, and cannot find an example of Umar basically harassing the Nabi's one of the Nabi's wife, and then yes, you're at it, and then the Nabi telling his woman cover up, so there's a distinction between you and other women. You tell me I cannot find that example.
I didn't say that. All it takes is, look, for example, all it takes is a social experiment to be taken. If you really care to see the differences between someone who's got hijab on and who doesn't, do a social experiment and see how it goes, and do the study and do the case study and see how it goes. Someone has actually done that. It was very interesting to see it. You would be surprised the amount of times this girl that was walking down the street, casually walking down the street, she was getting whistled at. She was getting called at. She was getting all of these things are wrong. Why are men treating this woman like some piece of like a piece of candy or something, like a piece of object, objectifying her? But
as a counter argument, you're telling me I cannot find examples of women going to Hajj, going to Umrah, and getting sexually assaulted and getting sexually harassed.
That's a good point. Hello world. Okay, can I just say something? Hello world. Let me just say something real quick. Let me just say something. No, I will. I'll let you finish. Hello world. I'll let you finish. Let me just say this, Walal. When you're answering or when you're putting an idea forward, could you please keep it as short as possible, because I wanna keep the conversation flowing. I want you to finish your thought, but finish one thought at a time.
Okay,
go ahead.
No problem. Okay, so with regards to what I was saying now, if you now want to see the differences, I would say just do a case study for yourself personally and see how it goes. And you could even film it, YouTube it, Melgali, and just show people what the differences are between someone who has a hijab and who doesn't. And you can that could be that could be something that you could use for, let's say, your argument. Like, look, I've done a case study. I actually put the work in. Here's my study, and look at it. This is the point I'm making.
Thank you. Go ahead.
My only thing is, like, people should not treat you like, okay, here's the thing. The hijab, there are men out there who treat women who don't wear the hijab like utter garbage. We cannot even deny that, right? They just view them as whores and everything, right? So Islam tells you, if you don't wear the hijab, you're just like this kind of person, right? So my only thing is, like, you shouldn't interact with somebody based on how they are dressed. The same thing that you were saying about the sexual assault. There has been girls who've gone to Hajj, who've gone to Umrah, and they've been sexually assaulted, sexually harassed, all of this stuff. There's cases. You can even Google the difference between our two points. The difference between our 2 points is we understand that sexual assault and sexual harassment and rape is a big problem, and people through reform have been trying to change it. But then you have this ideology that says, no, everything about us is perfect, and we don't even allow change. Well, completely bid'ah, right? So here, and on top of that, if you even try to do it, we'll kill you. You feel me? So what is, like, when you look at those two, one who is actively trying to change for the better society, humanity, whatever, right? And one that's saying we're perfect, we're not even willing to change. What is wrong with that picture right now? That's all I wanted to say.
I fully hear what you're saying, but with regard to that, it is something that you would look at and be like, why can't we just change it? Why can't we do it? You know what helps me with that why can't we just change it is because the only thing that helps me, because I ask those questions sometimes. When I was young, I would ask a particular question, I would ask a sheikh. Some sheikhs would even get frustrated with my continuous questioning, but some would be okay with my continuous questioning, and some were happy to even answer my questions. Everyone was different, the experience I've had, but it hasn't deterred me from continuously looking into it. But the reason what helped me with the why was, if I'm happy to say that my Lord created me, I'm happy to say he's got the knowledge, and I'm happy to be like, since he has the knowledge, whatever he said is good enough for me. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, that's how I'm. Yeah. That's how I've come to the conclusion of No, because otherwise we'll be philosophers that continuously ask why until
okay. No, I understand what you're saying, and that's what I don't want to. It's like I said, it's not a debate; it's a discussion. You understand? And I used to be there where
like that's what helps me with my why. I'm sure everyone has a different why and what helps them, but this is my why. My personal why
I totally get you. In Islam,
I'm happy
they tell
that
you
Lord
like you're a
created
slave
me.
for
He
Allah.
knows all the answers, and He gave me the answers, and that's it.
No, I get where you're coming from. Like in Islam, it's like they tell you you're a slave for Allah. You're a slave, and they make slavery seem like a good thing. You understand? I get where you're coming from. Actually,
you submitted your will to Allah. So technically,
but at the same time, the whole thing of slavery, Hawaii. If you really want to think about it, slaves were Araran. There's a whole serious root into Ararai. You know, people run away from slavery. Slavery is not a good thing. Only Arabta who will literally stand in front of you and say, yes, slavery well, okay, fucking okay. You feel me?
Exactly. I'm not okay to be a slave for someone else who's just look. I've never had a superiority complex or an inferiority complex. I've never been the type of person that looks at another person and says he's
again. Hello world, you grow up in a Western world, you're not grow up in an outside world. My goodness.
Sorry,
no, I understand
what you're saying. I just wanted to say I hear you. You're saying I'm a slave for Allah. They make it seem like slavery is a good thing, but slavery is not a good thing. You feel me?
No,
you said you have to pay two people in your family.
I'm not a slave for people, but if I'm going to be a slave, I'm going to be a slave for my creator. I'm happy to.
Okay, well here's the contention, right? Let me try and recenter this a little bit. Here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Because everything you're saying, hello world, to be very frank with you, bro, it's nothing new. Somali we grew up with the same thinking, right? I think a lot of us have also partaken in hot debates in defending Islam the same way you're doing right now. What we come to the conclusion is, you're gonna submit to God. Yes, okay, فهمي. لكن سل جوجل قبك تقادن إله هذا قف باكوشة. That's the contention we have. So if you were to come up to these conclusions by yourself, it would be understood. But what we're trying to convey to you is that this idea has come to you through a time and a place. And that time and a place has attached itself to the message itself. So when you actually get to know what the message is, you're not really defending something that is from the Almighty, because you never spoke to the Almighty. You're speaking. Let me finish. You're actually Let me finish, brother. You are actually defending a specific time and a specific culture through which you believe God has spoken through. Do you understand that?
Yeah, horta waxaan ugu darayaa walaalkeen horta aad buu u mahadsan yahay sida wanaagsan.
We're attacking the ideology and not you. We're attacking the ideology.
You're making me seem like I'm a snowflake or something.
No. Hello, well, you're not. Let's listen to
This is how I talk with my cousins, my brothers, my sisters. We talk like this.
Hello world.
I know.
Go ahead, Dalmar.
Macnaha waxaan kaaga mahadcelinaynaa sida wanaagsan ee macnaha noola sheekaysanayso. Soomaali badan oo saas awoodin baa jirta oo dadka la sheekaysan karin oo magaal baa ka carar ku jira oo hadli karin baa jira. Horta aad baa u wanaagsan tahay. Oo waxaan kaloon kaaga mahadcelinaa macnaha maanta waxaan ku noolnahay waqti cajiib casri ah. Aqoontii, waxbarashadii, xadiistii, quraankii, wax walbaba internetkaas, telefonkaas aad ka helaysaa wax walbaba. So hadda waa isla garanay ereyga slavery wuxuu yahay waa isla garanay. oo kaliya hadda waxaan ka rabaa YouTube-ka hadda halka aan soo dhigay fiiri waxa ku jirto reference baa ku jira soo ma garanaysid reference-gaas reference-gaas soo ma garanaysid weega dambe aan isku imaano aan fiirino mid reference-gaas aan u fiirino dhahano is this slavery anaga waxaan nahay dad open minded soo ma garanaysid haddii aad naga dhaadhicisiiso oo tiraado waxaan this is not slavery yes we are open minded anaga literature hadda la imaato soo ma garanaysid
me walaalo that's not fair hadda waxaan ku yiri wixii slavery waan kula jira waan ku taageeraa I support you on anything that is slavery, I say it's wrong. So there's no need for you to send me anything. Why? I
No,
support that. Like,
no.
laakiin fikri wax yar garaa noqo dalmar wax yar darmal iga raal noqo waxa adiga aad leedahay fikirkaaga ah iyo wuxuu islaamka yiri adigoo honest ah kala saar walaalo.
Yes, anaga waxaan ku leenahay videoga waxa ku jira.
You finish me before I finish. Okay, like if waxa adiga sheegaysid, if what sheegaysid is with the criteria of Islam, under the criteria of Islam, then that is not slavery.
Okay, maya waxaan rabnaa. Okay, you have a look this hadith ka YouTube kan waxa ku jiro reference ya ku jiro. Check the reference. Yeah.
No problem.
Check the references. Week damba aan isku imaano fiiri. Week damba aan isku imaano. Mid aanu eegno dhahno is this slavery? No. Tick.
No.
Is this slavery? Yes.
No problem.
Let's take. So ma garanaysid. Waxaan ku soo private chat ka fiiri. Private chat ka ma aragtaa.
If you go to the private chat, hello world, go to the private chat.
Yes.
I'm
gonna save it now.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that what you were saying, well, we're not attacking. We don't want you to feel attacked. How I exchange, you know. Sorry.
No problem. No.
Wait, hello world. سؤال خلينا نقولين يا قابل.
If I'm a seasoned professional in this patience when it comes to patience.
Yes. Okay.
I have discussions with people on a daily basis. So
that's awesome.
Do not feel any type of way from me. I've got a bottle of water here.
بس سؤال كلي على ويدين انت صح
ميمي تكهمدو everybody
we're just questioning the religion. We're not questioning you. You're our brother, you know.
Yeah, let's listen to each other.
I understand.
You wanted to ask
mid baan rabaa ku sheegana in wata iska in anigu ana qaybin karaa in oo kaftan ku fiirdo shakigu na waa iska okay taago ma garatay in waxaan rabaa inaan ku su'aalo de weliga ma shakiday laakiin qasam ah inaad ka jawaabtid laakiin waxaan ku leeyahay iska shakigu waa caafimaadku ka yar mid yahay garaysa wax daada cusub
shaki waa of course shaki waa ogtahay waxa shaki ku leeyahay shakigu waxaan ku leeyahay for example this is one of my biggest shakis and I'm sure there's an answer to that question but if I don't get it alhamdulillah it's not a problem for me I still continue being Muslim but this is one of my biggest shakis for example now hatta markay gaalada markay naad galaan ma weligood ba may naad gali doonaan ma weligood bay ku jaanayaan ma maalin bay abada ma weligood ba till the end of time
ولا جوابي كريا ولا جوابي كريا hello world.
What was the question? Sorry, what was the question?
The question is one of the things that he asks himself is that Christians are going to stay in hell forever. نمعوا سورة بدو هاي صاصمها نمعوا.
Yes. 1 minute.
No, you didn't understand. It's not a doubt. It's not a doubt that it's a question.
Hello world.
It's like they're going to be in. Why is it?
Hello world. waxaan uga jeedaa
example. And that's me looking at it from holistically. That's me looking at it holistically, not religiously.
Hello world. Hold on. I think your microphone is a little bit delayed. Hello world. I think that's why you might not be hearing us at the same time as we're saying it. لكن تكهمدو وصير جبيني كسعود كهمدو.
وصير جبين هران وجعي يعني كان وصودو يحيى.
Sorry.
هي عادي.
الباب كان يربوش وشرا لكن waxaan ku leeyahay shakiga gaalada waxba ka shakiyeen waxaan uga jeedaa adigu marmar iska shaki ma garatay.
Yes. anigana waxaan kusoo gabagabeynayaa walaalkeen waxa weeyaan dadku waxay isku fahmaan wada hadalka annagu macnaha dad diinta islaamka iskaga baxay oo waxyaalo kale macnaha iskaga baxay manin dad waxaan nahay ka shakiyaan nahay su'aalihii aan uga shakin hadda markaan su'aalo ku weydiinayno hana la yaabin dad waxaan nahay su'aalaha adiga aa wadataba annaga su'aalahaasaan wadanaa waa waxyaalo aan jawaab u weynay weeyaan soo ma garanaysid marka waan wada sheekaysanaynaa waxaa laga yaabaa hadda su'aalo annaga aan wadano oon jawaab u weynay intaan nooga jawaabto ama diinta ku soo laabano waa suurtagal marka adigana haddii aad garanayso dad macnaha kaa cilmi badan oo aad garanayso diinta yaqaano wiiga dambe waad noo imaan kartaan waan wada sheekaysan karnaa laakiin waxaa muhiim ah dadku inay qalbi furan oo daacad ah iska difaac faa'iido ma laha wax inaan iska difaacaya faa'iido ma laha waxaa la rabaa qalbi daacada wixii maanta aniga hadaan khaldanahay yes gacantan dhiibaya xalay waa khaldan arrintaas waan ku khaldanaa marka maskax furan taasa adduunka horumar ku gaaray Soomaali hadaan nahayna waa inaan maskax furan la imaan hadaan dooneyno inaan adduunka gaarno waan ka baxay
mahadsanid dalmaro nimco in maxaa kordhay waxaad u sheegaysay bal sheegay kam so far I think it was a far
fikirka cadaabka inta aniga aan ka ogahay aanan ka dhageystay walaalihii wadaadadii wixii ahaa
nimco weyn nacday
may waxa maanta dhashay ilaa maanta cadaab un baa lagu cabsiinaya mar hore ordi lahaa waxaan ku sheegayaa hal walt dadku way ku kala duwan yihiin fikirka ma ogtahay firqooyinkana way kala duwan yihiin there is specifically now known Muslim firqa or 73 different xagga cadaabka dadna waxay aaminsan yihiin qofka haddii uu maqlay diinta islaamka oo loo sharaxay hadduu diido cadaabku galaya and there is no question about it there is khalidina fiha abada however there is 40 hadiths called hadith al-qudsi where one of the hadith is قال الله سبحانه وتعالى قال رسول صلى الله عليه وسلم it's not because somebody else is saying from Allah Jibril like the Quran to Muhammad and it says that nin ayaa jiro ninkaas oo kula dardaarmi doono familkiisa iyo caruurtiisa qofka maskiinka ah markuu u yimaado inay sadaqada baxsadaan hadduu deen ku yeeshana ay deenta kula sii dhigin saas ayuuna jannada ku galayaa ayaa lagu leeyahay ma fahantay marka laakiin qaybta cadaabta ah qofka hadduuba maqlo okay for example I never heard about Islam you came and you tell me about Islam and because I heard it I have to go to hell then why are you telling me you can just leave me alone
forever
if you know about cadaab ha
وسؤال walaalkeen qaadan la yahay Soomaha su'aasha walaalkeen maskaxdiisa gali la ayaa waxay tahay dad waxaa jira adduunka aan ba maqlinba ma garanaysid oo leeyahay abada wal cadaabaya gali la ahay walaalkeen
okay fira hala wad dhageysahuna waxaan ku weydiinaa adiga hadda let's say 30 years of your life kaaga si qof wanaagsan oo muslim ah ayaad ahayd 5 sano kamid ah noloshaadii horta shirkiga ugu weyn wax ilaah lala associate garay ma ogtahay 5 sano kamid ah ayaad samaysay shirki for example hadda waaya haye 30kaagii sano discount ma jiro forever cadaab ayaad galaysaa maadaama 5 sano noloshaadii kamid ah aad samaysay shirki how is that fair marka burn me 5 years that's what I did and leave me alone marka ma fahantay
Well, can I just say really quickly?
Okay.
Earlier you were just,
the thing is, the thing
can
is
I just add something? Hold on. Go ahead.
Let me just quickly answer that one, with just one sentence, As far as I know, it does not matter how you start; it matters how you finish. I just want to continue what you were saying.
Go ahead, Far.
As far as I know, it didn't matter that you were a bad person for 25 years. If you were good for 5, that's what we remember you for. That's how you ended your story. But if you were a good person for 25 years and you were bad for 5, that's how we remember you. That's how you end your story. It doesn't matter how you started.
I just have a quick comment.
It's how you
and it goes back to it's the same train of thought, but also goes back to the slavery issue. Most of the Sahaba, they're considered Ahlul Bayt, like they're going to heaven, right? And a lot of them they own slave. I don't own slave. So I know how to oh, your fate is up in the air. Like it's a maybe basically. And only your what do you call it? Your choices in life it will get you there and stuff like that. Hold on. How are those guys who literally enslave people are bound for heaven? That means Aniga who doesn't even enslave people. Shouldn't I be Ahlul Jannah Firdausa? Really? Why is my fate that when I'm not even going around enslaving other people, how is my fate up in the air? How is it uncertain? And that's just like my only question for you. Sorry, go ahead.
And hello, Walda. You know anything about the Masalih al-Mursal?
No, I think Nim'a Yurkadula. Hello world. I think that's an actual question that Far was asking.
That's an actual question. So with regards to that, what we're doing is we're comparing the times then to the times now. Those people are Ahlul Bayt, not because they had servants, because of everything that they did. You've just now pinpointed the fact that they had servants, and you're trying to make that a bad thing. It wasn't considered bad.
Servants and slave are two different things.
Nothing they were doing was considered.
They had both.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, how can you tell the rest of Muslims, hey, these guys were immoral, unethical? Oh, sorry, go ahead. No. I'm just asking you, how can you say to the rest of the Muslims, these guys were immoral and unethical, who actually own people, right? That they're destined for heaven, right? But us, the rest of us, our fate is basically uncertain, even though the rest of us do not do the same immoral act.
Let him finish. What they were doing, if they had slaves, they were following the Islamic way to have a slave, and that is, like I said, you have to feed them, you have to clothe them, you have to look after them, you can't strike them, and you have to give them eat off the same food that
you can strike them. There is hadith that says you can strike them.
Well, Allah, then you're telling me that I'm not gonna go to Islam and find all of these examples of people of these Arabs mistreating these poor slaves, of whipping them, of mistreating them, of sexually harassing them, of raping them. And I'm also, a slave cannot give you consent. Everything that you do to that person, if you're having sexual relation with that person, rape. Look at it. Okay, sorry, Walado, go ahead, answer.
Yes, you're absolutely right. You would find case studies of a dead batch that were bad to their people. But yet, the rule always stays the same. The rule is, Haddad hated slave, you have to look after them, you have to feed them, you have to clothe them. This is the rule. If you don't follow that rule, you're not following Islam.
There is no rule justifies slavery. No rule at all. Okay, that's how I see it. No rule.
Islam accepts slavery. Let's be honest. It accepts it. It gives it actually shurut. This is what you can do to a slave. This is what you can do to a slave. Blah blah blah. So it accepts slavery. I'm not gonna tell you.
In the same sentence.
And so you're telling me, and right now we're in the 21st century. Let me just finish. We're in the 21st century, right? And Annika, we don't believe slavery actually. You should be enslaving other people. So you telling me this religion, who you say is timeless, it's definitely not timeless, because in terms of slavery, that's what we could then. Like we're right? Like they move the fuck on, right? We're not doing slavery anymore, right?
Far on the timeless. Let me ask you,
look, what you're talking about the rosy West. Well, they're not in times of jihad. Everyone's living amongst each other. Everyone's cool. Why would you talk about slavery in this time, Walala? Like it is actually a time for that.
No,
the times for that, we wouldn't even be able to have this discussion. Wallahi. If we
Hello World, hold on, Hello World.
We wouldn't be able to have these discussions.
inta idaafina rabaa inaa su'aal weydiiyo halo walaal ma ka warqabtaa horta fikirka ah masaalixul mursala waxa la dhaho
masaalix mursal no I'm not familiar with
okay waaye in isbitaal la dhiso in wadada la dhiso in iskuul la furo islaamka miyay ku jirtaa in masjid in isbitaal aad dhistid hospital streets inaad dhistid in maxaa lahayn schools so that is what Islamic people consider maxaa la dhahay al-masalih al-mursala waay horta ma fahantay so today taas ayay noo soo geli kartaa slaveryga masalih al-mursala inay ka mid tahay qof bila aadan horta in maxaa la dhahay la haysto waa wax bila aadanimada ka baxsan soo maaha aniga waa fahansanahay qof muslim ayaa tahay maanta inaa question garaysid islamigana laguma ogola because maskaxdaada ma isticmaalaysid buuggii ayaad isticmaalaysaa and that's not an insult, okay? Because the fear associated by it.
No, two questions. No.
Marka waxaan ku leeyahay hadaa rabtid ninka 7th century noolaa inaa raacdid why are you driving a car why are you having an iPhone why not maxaa la dhahay gaari inaad ka dhigtid a horse or maxaa la dhahay a camel why 21st century ga ula socotaa and today at the same time ay quraankii ahadiistay ugu qoran tahay slavery in ay okay tahay
and was su'aal
is that a rhetorical question sorry
very defensive good galaysa hadana
ha me hu kaadi ina dalmaro ku socbal walaal
ha maya waxaan rabaa oo kali arintan hadda slavery-ga walaalkeen waxaan siinay video ay ku jirto xadiisyo fara badan oo 20 gaaraya oo 20 xadiis gaaraya marka xadiistaas soo arag
we can look at the case study we can look at it individually we dissect it and we can talk on that
حديثة حتى صوبة معناها حديثة حاجة كتيران معناها هاسك قادني وليبا سوق أنا ولا ما يولال كنا هاسك قادني وليبا حديثة صوبة حاجة كتيران بوجي هذا كفيري سنة.com داعش waxaa ku jira buugta xadiista oo dhan ku jira sunna.com intaa gasho
صح
cross reference
لكن اوكي
all
وهي هذا
soo ma
this is very
garanaysid
important person
andana aan isku imaano markaas
haddaan aniga xadiis kuu keeno adiga xadiis ii keentid adiga is it important for you hadday saxiix tahay ama saxiix ahayn ama waxaad taagan tahay any xadiis waa any xadiis
صحيح
no
only
because we have to be saxiix only Bukhari
yeah authentic absolutely
Bukhari or Muslim
inta macnaa anaga waxaan kugu cabiray aan kugu qiimeeyna waxa weeyaan wax adiga aaminsan tahay so adiga waxaad aaminsan tahay xadiisku waa inuu saxiix ahaado waa inuu 6 buug ee saxiixa uu ku jiro intaasan ka soo saarnay anaga meel kale ma aadin ba
صح
ma garanaysid 6 buug baan ka soo saarnay xadiista mid walba waan ku sheegnay xataa muttafaqun alayhi cidii saxiixisay wixii dhan meesha ku jirtaa mid u soo baad ma garanaysid isku kaayakeen next week haddii rabti xataa qof kale oo islaamka yaqaano macnaha su'aalaha aan wadanay ku jirtaa soo ma garanaysid su'aalaha aan wadanay ku jirtaa qof kale oo diinta yaqaano xataa
wax garanaynin qof kale keeno wax garanaya
yes exactly
I'm happy to do that
yes waxaan rabnaa oo kaliya
keep in mind
adiga inaa wax baaritaan adiga fiiri qof bini aadan hadal uu ku yiri weligaa lama dhageysto dhageysanin aniga hay dhageysanin qof kale qof kale wadaad ana hadalkiisa ha dhageysanin weligaa adiga kor istaag
Hello world keep in mind walaalo ahadiista sida islaamka ay sheegayaan and it's not something anaga jeebkeen aan kala soo baxeeno it's been written from 200 to 300 years after the death of Prophet Muhammad okay
walaalo also I wanted to just add really quickly
we got to isku imaana marka
New World. What happened to you said you guys hold on, Malalo.
Sorry, Malalo. What was her name again, Malalo? The girl that was speaking just a second ago. Sorry. Naima, sorry, Malalo. So I don't know what you said. I want to catch you. I only have one question for you, Malalo.
Okay, go ahead.
adiga kula what's going to be the conclusion for your life now? Markaad dhimatid maxaad filaysaa baa dhici doona?
aniga midda hadda aan aaminsanahay iyo wixii iman doonaa open minded u ahay is different today waxaan aaminsanahay I have no awareness whatsoever markaa caloosha hooyaday ku jiray and I think about it markaan dhintana inay saas tahay I don't know where I'm going I'm just dead that's it
exactly waxaan siin doonaa walaalkeen jaanis u dambeeya inuu isagana macnaha fikirkiisa inuu soo gabagabeeyo ya wiil walaalkeen la joogo weeye jaanis u dambeeya isagaan siinayna laakiin waxaan rabaa inaan uga jawaabo arinta bakhtiyaa nasiibka uu keenay Pascal Wager macnaha qof waxaa tahay bakhtiyaa nasiibka isticmaalaya waxaa tiri aniga muslim baan ahay haddaan dhinto oo Allah ama diinta islaamka ay sax noqon weydo wax iga qasaaraya ma jirtaa tiri soo ma garanaysid laakiin hadday diinta islaamka sax noqoto qasaaraan ku jiraa soo walaalkeen waxaan rabnaa inaad bakhtiyaa nasiibka consistency ku ahaato adduunka maanta markii la eego waxaa ka jira in ka badan 40,000 oo ilaah baa la caabudi jiray soo ma garanaysid qiyaasta inta lagu qiyaaso soo ma garanaysid adiga mid kamid ah tahay ogow 40,000 oo ilaah mid kamid ah tahay adiga soo bakhtiyaa nasiibka hadaa taqaano hadaa taqaana bakhtiyaa nasiibka ama waxa la yiraahdo probability-ga wax la yiraahdo ilaahaaga inuu run noqdo probability-geeda waxa weeyaan waa hal loo qeybiyay 50,000 oo ilaah waxay noqonaysaa 0.00000 ayay noqonaysaa marka macnaha probability qof isticmaal hadaa tahay waxaan ku leeyahay be consistent ila Allah ama diinta islaamka inay sax noqoto probability-goodu waa 0.00000 weeyaan
probability waxa something that can be quantified Dinta okale cannot be quantified. That's why it's not something that's a fact, it's a belief. So there's no probability you can put on a belief. You believe something. You believe something because of evidences that you were given. The same way now you believe you've got a grandma. The only reason, a great grandma, sorry, the only reason that you believe you have a great grandma, not because of the probabilities, is because, sorry, it is because of the probabilities, because this is a real world situation. But you believe she was your grandma because you have a mom.
Yeah, be careful though. Be careful. Be careful. Hello,
Dinta has no you cannot observe Dinta. You can only observe the evidences. Do you understand? So you can put probabilities on the evidences. You cannot put probability on the actual religion and
that's what I'm saying.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So
yeah, we're on the same page.
Now, exactly.
We're on the same page.
Yeah, so probabilities you cannot put on Ilahi. I understand that. The only reason I believe in Ilahi is because of the evidences I've been given.
Yeah, but
I've been given evidences to say
otherwise. The other 40,000 معناها ديما kale jirana iyo Ilaahay jiro mid walba cadeyntooda wataan dad adigoo kala aamina oo ku dhashay oo haysta oo ku dhaqma.
And exactly, and cadeyntooda way.
Therefore adiga Ilaahaaga probability ahaan
me لكن دينتنا waxay tiraahdaa kaalay nabar, challenge the Quran, challenge it. wax la keen like it. wax la keen. No other religion challenges it. Judaism for example now, Judaism was a private club. You need to be born through a Jewish mother to be a Jew. That's a private club. Where his Sikhism what are the predominant Sikhs? Were from the sub-Saharan from the sub-Saharan desert? No. Are they from Europe? No. They are from that area of the world, India. That's where Sikhism began. Okay. So this is what. So we're looking at another religion, Christianity. We're looking at that Christianity. They have so many contradictions in their books. They've rewritten their books. There are different versions of their books. So there's no other religion like Islam. Islam is consistent. We are like this, and we're going to stay.
Well, we respectfully disagree, but okay.
That's what we're trying to say. Sorry, I just want to jump in. That's what we're trying to say.
Yeah, really.
Like with everything you can prove, everything you can prove. If you tell me there's something over there, I can tell you. Let me see. Let me hold it. Let me, that you can prove it. Let me measure it. You feel me? You can prove it. But when it comes to faith, hold on. When it comes to faith, you've had over 2,000 years. You want to sit there and tell us, oh, this man, he opened a sea, like Moses, he opened the sea. But he was lost in a desert for 40 years. Like
I never saw that, but I believe that because
when it comes to faith, though, you cannot prove it. You've had 2,000 plus years. Like you talk about the Yehud. The Yehud say, "Oh, we're this, this, and this," and they make all of these claims, but they cannot prove it. Have faith. Faith is about having faith. That's what I'm saying. We're gonna agree to disagree, but we're really agreeing on the same thing. If you really think about it, you cannot prove religion. Therefore, I'm not gonna believe in something I cannot see with my eyes. You cannot prove.
I've never argued against that. It would be ridiculous to argue against that because you would have no intellect if you were to argue against that. I understand that you cannot prove religion, but that's why it's a belief. It's not a fact. I'm not saying to you it's 100% fact. I'm not saying that. I say
Hello Walt, su'aalan rabaa inaan ku weydiiyo suuradda tobnaad Quran 10:47 and verily we have sent among every ummah nation a messenger to allow them to tell them that they should worship Allah. So let me say that I'm not Arab, I'm a Somali woman, okay? I had my own God. I had my own God to begin with. To bring them back to what? I had waq. My community had waq. My God can be my own also, okay? This guy, Arab guy, was sent to his only people who speaks Arabic language, okay? Ma fahantay? So ani marka warka waxaa ku leeyahay aniga godkaygii waxaa lagu sheegay whether it's true or not waxaa la dhahay waa mid oo ignorant oo jaahiliya ah kaagii waayahay luqadan aniga garanayninna waxaa la igu qasbay inaan luqadaada barto. To get to know this God I have to learn a language to begin with. Ma fahantay? Marka aayadda maadaama ay leedahay waxaa barataa Arabic sida Quraanka u qaaday. See u fahmaa marka aniga Carabi kuma hadlaa af Soomaali baan ku hadlaay.
Yes, walaalo. Yeah.
Why? Come on, Walala. That's unfair now. This is a very simple question. Do you have to now know Arabic to learn the meaning of what's in the Quran? That's the answer is no.
Yes. Because when I first memorized the Quran, I did not know what I was reading.
Okay. Is there not translations of Quran in any language? I don't see the
kuma tukan karti laakiin de waana Carabiga barato Soomaali kuma tukan karti Soomaali waana Carabiga barato qosban tahay.
Yes.
Soomaali kuma tukan karti half waana Carabiga ugu tukatid.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Waana luqad kale barato marka ilaahay macnaha Soomaali markuu rabo inuu luqad kale barto muxuu ka wadaa
khalad baad ka fahanteen walaalayaal aniga Quraanka baan garanayaa Carabi ma garanayi. What is your answer to that? Am I an anomaly? Am I special? Am I a
see ku
special
baratay
human
marka
being?
see ku
Memorize.
baratay
Walaalo.
He knows.
What we say to you, Hawaii, you memorize, you memorize, but you do not understand.
No.
You memorize, but you do not understand.
Of course,
Because what you're saying, Quranka akhriya, lakin ma aqaana wa
the whole
leedahay.
point was
The whole point,
yeah.
Hold on. Hello world. Hold on. Let's just kind of bring it back a little bit, okay? maxaa ku raadaaye aan ku weydiiyey markaad in salaada qabsanaysid heedhe faatixadaad akhridaa soo ma do you read that in English or in Somali mise af carabi baad ku tiraahdaa
sorry
do you say that in Arabic, in Somali, or in English?
I say in Arabic, of course. I say
okay.
I say right. The only way it can be said.
Right. Let me say
I say the only way it's supposed to be said.
It's the only way it's supposed to be said.
The national anthem in America.
But if that's the only way, hold on. Let me finish my thought. Let me finish my thought. If you're saying, because I think there's a delay. Well, and it's not your fault, but I think there's a delay. Anyway, if you're saying,
I think there is a delay. Yeah, sorry.
If you're saying that Arabic uma bahni, in son, you would be, that means the Fatiha, surah the Fatiha, Quran ka akhriyesid. It's in English, right? You said so. If the only way it can be said it's in Arabic, why are you reading it in English, Marcus?
Sorry.
You said that it can only be read in Arabic. Fatiha.
What you've said is, you need to know Arabic to know the Quran. I'm saying I don't know.
Not in terms of language, not in terms of language. waxaan ka hadlayaa, let's say my grandmother sida luqadda carabiga dhageysatay hoono luqadda carabiga dhageyso hadii walaalaha ku sharaxaysan. Okay, so let's say my grandmother, she speaks Somali, she doesn't know anything about Arabic luqadda sida loo aqriyo. Qof ayaa kitaab u keenay, wuxuu yiri islaamku waa kan aqri. Sida u aqrinaysaa iyadoo luqadii baranayn marka? اللغات markaan leeyahay waxa waaye Arabigi iyadoo baran see ku akhrin kartaa Qur'aankii
adiga isweydii walaalo ma adiga Soomaalidan baran adiga Arabic garanay how waad baratay that's how because you were taught by someone who was taught by someone who was taught by someone it's an
ilaahan luqadda isaga soo ima siinin ilaahan aad aaminsan tahay luqadda Soomaaliga isaga soo mu abuurin
Soomaaliga
yaa nasiiyay luqadan af Soomaaliga ah ilaahay soo luqadaho dhan ma abuurin Soomaha waxa aaminsan tahay
wuu abuuray
okay si aan u fahmo aan u caabudo aan diintii isaga maxaa la dhahay uu soo dajiyay aan u fahmo ilaahan maxaa Arabi kaliya ugu soo dajiyay marka muu aniga luqadayda iigu soo dajiyay kitaab ani ii gooniya isiyo si aan u aamino on aan cadaabkana uga dheeraado.
Yes, why is Somali not good enough for Ilahi? Yes.
See, now that's a question. They're gonna, as far as I know, as far as I was taught, was the question of the language. It was brought down to, in that time, the Arabs, because they were the most. As far as I know. But then, look, you're asking me a question. You're not happy with my answer. Well,
no. Keep going. No, keep going. Hello, world. Keep going. Well, the Arabs were what?
Okay. Yeah, in terms of the Arabs at that time, as far as I know, they needed a prophet. Because look, if we look at all the times a prophet came to each civilization, it was the Arabs' turn for the prophet to come to their civilization for their people. So now, since it came down to their people, it was going to be spoken in what language? Of course, it's going to be spoken in the Arabic language. Why we need to speak Arabic, though, I do not know. I can't answer that question.
Okay. I just have a quick question.
I can go on.
I have a quick question. I just have a quick question.
Why? I don't have pride in me whereby I will answer questions I don't know.
No, you very well. Hello, world.
And it's in the same breath as Nim'o, the other girl, Nim'o. It's not only that, but the language of heaven, Hawaii, Arabic. Me as a Somali, I'm gonna, yes, do you believe that? One, and two, me as a Somali, what the fuck am I doing on this earth if I'm speaking like, let's say 60, if I live like 60, 70 years, right? If I'm speaking 60, 70 years on this earth, speaking Somali, why the fuck would I go to heaven and speak Arabic? I don't want to speak Arabic. I want to speak Somali in heaven. Like what kind of, how is this not Arab supremacy even حتى heaven bay kugu aadeen حتى jannada kugu aadeen waxay dhaheen luqadaad ma kuma hadli kartid inta ku hadlaysid waa waxan waa Arab supremacy. Okay, go ahead.
Say when you're in heaven everyone speaks Arabic.
Yes, it's the language of Jannada.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that, Walal? Did you know that?
I'm not aware of that. I need to look into that.
Okay. It's okay. It's okay. We can send you the link. We can send you the link. That's what happens. That's what they said. And also you said civilization.
I'm not aware of that. But when I do find that out, I need to find out why and the knowledge behind it.
Of course.
Once I do find those two things, I can explain it to you guys. But wallahi,
that is where we all started. Please.
Exactly.
Yes. Let's go back.
I'm really, guys. I'm loving this conversation. Another 5 minutes by no I think these conversations are really fruitful. Hello world, you are amazing.
Amazing, yeah.
Thank you very much.
nomad waxaan rabaa inaan u sheego hello world dadka marka islaamka ka baxaan dadka badanaa waxay aaminsan yihiin dad xun inaan noqono. I just want to let you know that I'm a mother, I'm responsible, I never drink, weligay ma cabin, kalaam aanan tegin, meel oo irresponsible aanan tegin. I see maxaa la dhahay bini'aadanimada more than any book.
Wallahi, I was more concerned to find out what we are experiencing. Gurigiini ma laga eriyay.
See, hello world. I want you to understand. I want you to understand one thing right there. Do you think that any belief system, do you think that's something that's from the Almighty?
No. So I'll tell you why.
Okay. So the question, no, let me finish. The reason why you even asked that question here there is the answer that you're looking for, Kazi. You wouldn't even have asked that question if you didn't think it. You thought it. No, think about that for a second. I want you to think about that for a second.
I know what Somalis are like. No, absolutely. Wallahi, look, I know what Somalis are like. That's why, first of all, the first thing what I said when I first came into this was, when my friend told me, it was the first time I ever heard of anyone, a dunya that done,
Oh, wow. Okay.
Lo and behold, it's the Somali guy. You see what I'm saying? The guy that was the most Muslim. You see what I'm saying? So, first of all, that came as a shock. Then all the questions of, okay, I know what Somalis are like. They are very patriotic and they are very religious. How is that going to be like for these guys? How is it going to rock their world? What is it? How is it going to affect their world? Do you see what I'm saying? And
I hear you, broski.
For example, a lot of you, even then, you can still be as Somali. I'm sure the sister, I don't know if she does or not, but I'm sure the father of her children is a Somali man, irrespective if she's a Muslim or not. I'm sure that's me making an assumption. You leaving the religion doesn't mean you have to leave Somali behind.
Hello, Walter. Listen to me.
I agree with you.
I was always confused by that.
We all agree. We all agree on that.
I understand.
Hello, Walter. I was just telling Nomad. Okay, so I was just telling Nomad. Aniga Somalinimada horta way igu dheer tahay, and I told you wax oo qashin ah ama diinta horey u diiday ama dhaqanka horey u diidayba kuma dhaqaaqno. Ma fahantay? And I'm talking about myself specifically. And aniga wadanka waan tagaa 4 weeks every year. I'm a psychologist by training, and I work with mental health problems. I've been to Muqdisho, Hargeisa, everywhere. Anigo aanan aaminsaneyn diinta Islaamka. I always respect the rules of the country. Dharkeyga xirtaa sidii Soomaalinimadeeda u dhaqmaa si fiican ayaa waalidiinta u salaamaa. At the same time, I'll volunteer my time anigoo dheheenin these people are Muslim or not, because Somalinimo is the first thing for me. Ma fahantay? So we all trying okay, why hey, if I was about to mention aniga diinta Islaamka aaminsaneen, the rule of Somalia today, which is 19 countries ay ka mid tahay Somalia, is a death penalty. Marka halkan anaga waxa dood wadaag uga sameynayna wax walba ma aha. We are okay, we are willing to work with our Somali community, give our time, volunteer, everything. But a man ma lidinka heli karaa, including our close families, that we can be different.
Wallahi, if I was now, I've always said this, inshallah, like God willing, I have intentions of possibly going into politics.
Okay.
If that's the case, and I do follow that through that passion of mine, that dream of mine, and I am one day the governor of
may you reach your goals.
area in that area, I would make it that definitely I would make it a case of a rule whereby if wherever we have now, in the Quran, you guys, I'm sure, you have your deen, I have mine, yeah.
We will support you. I'll campaign for you first.
Yeah. Honestly, I would live by that purpose. If they want to be a Jew, you be a Jew. If you want to be a Gal, you want to be a Gal. Everyone can live amongst us, not a problem. But everyone has to live amongst each other fairly.
Get ready in a TV so
And honestly, I agree with you, New World. Honestly, the way I feel like if we follow the line of Islam came to East Africa. Hold on, Islam came to East Africa, and Somalis chose Islam for themselves. So that just tells me that my ancestors chose Islam for themselves. So why are we having this? And on top of that, they were still Somali. So why are we having the discussion of, oh, if you get out of the deen, you're no longer Somali, or you lose your Somali nimo? No, people have a right to choose their religion, and they're still the same ethnic group, and we just have to respect each other.
I don't think anyone thinks that. I don't think anyone in this, even the whole chat, believes that. If everyone does, they could break it.
But that's the thing, though. That's the thing, though. Hello World. I think they do, and that's the thing, and that's why Low Man is saying you're the 1%. And here's the thing that you have to take into consideration, right? You said just the other day you heard your Somali friend say that, and it rocked your world because you've never heard any of that, right? Now you're talking to people that have been living in this for a few years, for a lot of years. So although I respect the fact that it was new for you, you have to understand that this is old game for us. So for you to say that, I can respect you and I can salute you, but you also yourself would agree with me that that is not the norm right now in the Somali community.
No, Matt. Can I just answer your point?
Absolutely.
Hold on. This week we had a conversation.
At the same time, Nomad, do you believe that will be the case in 20 years? Do you believe that will be the case in 30 years?
I hope not. I hope not. Hello World, but far come in.
Genuinely,
even though you didn't see this example, even though you didn't see the example, this past week we saw that one Zubair, the girl who was basically telling the Muslim Somalis, like, hey, are these Gal Somalis like Somalis still? Are they real Somalis? So there are people who are not only who try to do divide and conquer, but there are Somalis who don't even look at people who are non-Muslim Somalis as Somali. So this conversation needs to be happening.
You know what's hold on. Surprising,
hello World.
We've been talking all this time, and not one mention. Not one mention of tribe. No one has mentioned tribe.
Absolutely. Of course, we don't need that. Hello World.
Okay.
I want you to understand one thing, Walal. Here's what you see on the screen right now. This is a Jaden quote that said, I'm a Muslim that believes in apostasy laws. It is in Islam. Hello World might not know it is a part of his deen. So you have someone here correcting you. So do you understand what I'm saying? Even though you might not agree with it, you might not be okay with it, there is people that do agree with it and that would not think twice but to exercise it. You understand what I'm saying? But look, I wanna, because we can do this all day. We can do this all day. But I want to say thank you so much, Hello World. You're a breath of fresh air, and the conversation are definitely going to continue. I want to thank Dalmar, I want to thank Nim'o, I want to thank Far, and Salan Goba, Hello World. I want to say that because this is gonna be it. You guys can stay right there. I'm just gonna end the stream. We can talk offline, but you guys can stay right there. But I want to say thank you everyone, and join us again next Sunday. And like I always say, Somali Nimo till I demo. Peace out.
Peace out, absolutely.